listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network, the home of Beacon Athletics.
Screen from Cricky. Reininger shoots a deep three. And he makes it! Preston Reininger has given Valpo the lead with 1:15 to go.
From the game-winning touchdown to the last-second shot, the Valpo Sports Radio Network brings you every game for your Beacons.
Then kicks it back out to Brown. Brown puts up a three. That one drains in. Olivia Brown for three.
On air at 95.1 FM and streaming live at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the Meeks Family Fieldhouse Center at the Stoplight City on the campus of Evansville University for today's women's basketball Missouri Valley Conference matchup featuring the visiting team on the scoreboard here this afternoon will be the 5-19 Valparaiso Beacons, who are coached by Mary Evans, who's in her 5th season as a head coach at Valparaiso, and the home team, the 11-13 Evansville Purple Aces, who are coached by Robin Sherwells, who's in her 2nd season at Evansville University. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Zach Collins. We're just about 25 minutes away from the opening tip-off, and now we'll start here with the Northwest Health Women's Basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network, The Source 95. Featured exclusively with this broadcast on YouTube here today. So the only place you can listen to this is right here on YouTube. Let's discuss the last game for the Beacons as Valpo ended their 4-game losing streak after a 54-47 win over the Sycamores. That win was Valparaiso's 3rd consecutive win over Indiana State at the Holman Center, as in the last 5 games between the two teams, all victories have actually been on the road. So the last 5 games, every team has traveled in that series between Indiana State and Valparaiso has won on the road. I mean, really, the home squad typically is the one who leads in that category. Valpo and Indiana State kind of going on the opposite end of things and taking over on a different side. Looking into this game as well, we have to look into how Valpo limited Indiana State and the opponent's season low, in which they shot just 35.4% from the floor, went 3 of 14 from the perimeter, and this was also Valpo's best defensive effort against an opponent as they held Indiana State to just 45 points on February 8th, 2020. This is only the 2nd time where they've been able to do so here and keep them within that 40 to 50 range in terms of scoring. Olivia Brown came into the game to lead in scoring for the 10th time this season with 16 points, going 5 of 8 from the hardwood. Olivia Sims went and tied her career high for the 5th time in her career against the Sycamores with 12 points as she went 4 of 7 from the field and 2 of 3 from Iowa, which is what I like to call the 3-point shot. Maya Dutson saw another dominant performance against ISU after she gained her career high in the previous matchup earlier this year, gaining 9 points and helping defend down low. And to finish things off, Allie Saunders also posted game highs with 4 assists and 3 steals in the Beacons' win over Indiana State. Now you look at all these stats and you think, man, that's impressive. And really the thing that was the most impressive aspect of this competition for the Beacons was their defense. Even Mary Evans crediting the defense more than she did the offense in terms of that last game against Indiana State. Looking at the Sycamores and the Beacons, Valpo was able to hold Indiana State to the lowest portion of scoring in the second half that they have for an opponent so far this season. In terms of the Sycamores, they just missed a lot of shots because of Valpo's good defense. In the practice yesterday for the Beacons, when I traveled with them to be able to attend that practice with Mary Evans and her squad, and really the aspect that they worked on mostly was defense in that game. So really expect a defensive battle, especially against Evansville, a team who is also a defensive team, and that's how they won against UIC in their last competition. We'll get into the specifics of that game shortly as well. But beforehand, we would like to remind you that the Valpo Women's Basketball pregame show is brought to you by Calumet Brewing, Custonia Tractor, Wings Etc., Lecture Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. And once again, you're listening to the Northwest Health Women's Basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Let's take a look into the series between the Purple Aces and the Beacons as Valpo leads this series 14-10 overall against Evansville. The first meeting between these two teams ended up in a big Evansville win on December 4th, 1981, when the Purple Aces beat the former Crusaders, now Beacons, 98-51 in that competition, with the last meeting between these two teams taking place earlier this year on January 5th, 2023, where Evansville won 57-45 over Valparaiso. Valparaiso holding Indiana State to 45 in the last game, so you never know how it could end up being in terms of this aspect of this competition here this afternoon. Looking at the RPI prediction for this competition, Evansville is predicted to win over Valparaiso 78-56. The over-under 134 points combined for both of these teams here this afternoon. Looking at the RPI rankings for each individual team, Valparaiso ranked 301st overall. They went up 8 places after their win against Indiana State. Looking to Evansville, they're 211th overall in the RPI rankings. So it could be a big matchup here in this competition as we look into the last matchup even further with a win at the Arc for the Purple Aces. It was actually the last game was the second lowest scoring game for Valparaiso this season, and that, of course, was due to shooting from the field. Valpo just shot 29.4% from the perimeter, and we're just 33% from mid-range in the game. Allie Saunders is able to pull off one of her season bests at the time in conference play, as she had a team best 14 points in the competition and pulled in 5 rebounds. Leah Ernest also scored in double digits with 11 points, alongside Elise Pitts swiping away 3 basketballs. Looking at the Evansville side of things, Abby Fight for the Purple Aces finished that competition with 18 points in that game. She just played an impressive matchup overall for Abby Fight. Looking into it as well, she shot 8 from 11 from the field, hauled in 9 rebounds in their win at the Arc. Valpo's looking to really change the outcome after a stellar performance against Indiana State, especially with Evansville coming into this game. They went to an overtime competition with UIC. Looking into that as well, they beat one of the better Valley teams. I mean, UIC has been able really to compete this season because of their excellent defense. Going into overtime, Evansville won the final 68-65 as Abby Fight, Anaya Griffin, and Anna Newman combined for 62 of Evansville's 68 points on the night, with Fight earning 26 points and pulling in 8 rebounds, with 23 of the 26 points in the second half and overtime alone. Impressive numbers for Abby Fight here once again. Griffin also notched her way to the 20-point mark, adding a season-best 7 rebounds, while Newman was just one shy of her career high with 16 points in the first game back after an injury. Celine DuPont also helped in the win, pulling in 8 rebounds for Evansville. Did not score, but really helped in a defensive battle for this Purple Aces team. Sarah Zabrecki also helped lead the Flames with 17 points in that competition for UIC. Zabrecki's been a very talented player, high caliber so far this season. It's great to be able to watch her on the floor for UIC. However, they weren't able to earn a win as the Purple Aces earned their win themselves against UIC for the first time since November 25th, 2006, where the Purple Aces won in that competition 69-53. UIC leading up to that competition, the last game for Evansville had been on a 3-game winning streak after that point on until Friday night. We're going to return when we'll talk about the opponents, the Evansville Purple Aces, even further, get into the conference standings, keys to the game, and the starting lineups, and the tip-off of this contest will follow shortly after. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso women's basketball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
The postseason starts here. The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship takes the court at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, March 9th through 12th in Moline. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Hoops in the Heartland, presented by Great Southern Bank and Grinnell Mutual Insurance. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233. Or visit NBCQuadCities.com.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
that's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry?
Heinold and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse locations, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold and Feller, your family matters to ours.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And we are back here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse. I'm Zach Collins, and we'll continue here on our Northwest Health Women's Basketball pregame show right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network, featured exclusively on YouTube for this competition this afternoon. Let's take a look into the Valley and some of the upcoming games, which are brought to you by IBEW and the Powering America team of Northwest Indiana. Looking into it overall, there's actually a current Valley game in competition, which will eventually give you the score update for that one. Indiana State in a battle against UIC. That score just 5-0, 7:50 left to go in the first quarter overall. Trying to get a little bit of an update on that one because it seems a little bit low, especially for the time that they were starting at that point. But regardless, they're in action there for UIC and Indiana State. A couple of other games taking place here in the Valley this afternoon. Belmont taking on Missouri State at 2 o'clock, and taking place this evening, Murray State and SIU at 5 o'clock. That Belmont and Missouri State game definitely had a switch back and forth between us at the breaks. Let's take a look even further as we take a look into the Evansville Purple Aces. Let's take a look at head coach Robin Scher-Wells. She's 19-35 in her second season here at Evansville. She's a former head coach at River City for NAIA. Really has developed this fast-paced element team here for the Purple Aces. And I was even talking to the ESPN announcers here for Evansville, and they spoke about how Scher-Wells really is going to keep her team in that high-paced energy here in this competition. Even after the game against UIC where they went in overtime, she said that they're going to be subbing a lot here in this competition here, and really paying attention to how they sub in this competition is important for the players coming into this game. So definitely look out for that. And she's really flipped this program around, or really has started to. They're 6-9 in the Valley this season. They're 2-16 last year in MVC play. So a big difference compared to last season for this Purple Ace team. They're also 8-12 last season. They've already increased their record by 3 games, and they've got about 5 games left to go this season. So definitely a high-caliber team looking at Evansville, and definitely a team that can continue to compete in the Valley this season. We're going to take a look to Valparaiso's head coach, Mary Evans, 53-87 here in her 5th season. She's actually had one of the best seasons in Valley competition for Valparaiso last year, as they went 9-9 in the Valley. In the beginning, it was really tough for Valparaiso to stay on the beginning, especially in non-conference play. It ended up changing things on how it went throughout the remainder of the season, and we've seen that aspect in a light of many other games for Valparaiso for the Valley this season. They've really been able to compete in conference play. Non-conference play, they struggled early this season. They started to pick up the tempo here. They're only 5-19 on the season, 3-12 in the Valley, but they can pick up here at the end of this season to be able to get some wins and earn them an even better spot when you look at the Valley rankings overall. And for the Quad Cities tournament as well, can make a big impact in that competition as well when looking at Valpo. Also looking into Mary Evans, she was an assistant coach at Ohio for 5 seasons overall, and she's continued to lead her Beacon squad to some of the best three-point shooting in the Valley. They actually led the Valley last season in 3 points made, so definitely a big difference this season compared to last season, as Valpo is trying to rely on kind of the dribble drive mentality over the three-point. They still rely on the three-point more heavily than other teams, but even compared to last season, they're definitely a different caliber squad. They really rearrange their plays differently, and it's a different team this season. So just a bit of a difference there when looking at both of these squads, but 2 very great coaches matching up against one another with their squads here in this competition. It's going to be a heck of a matchup as we get into our Beacon Bits to take a look at, as Valpo is 5-5 in matchups at the Fieldhouse here in Evansville, with the most recent game ending up in a win at this facility. It's one of the smaller facilities you'll see in really the Valley overall. It's almost about the size of some high school gyms that I've coached in, I've competed in, and I think I've competed in my home school town at a bigger facility than this, but just a bit of a different mentality here at Evansville for this team. But regardless, it's well facilitated and well, staffed as well. So we've been able to be blessed by the wonderful Evansville staff here in this competition this afternoon. Looking into it as well, further into our Beacon Bits, a win here today would give Valpo a road sweep of the same conference 2-game road trip on 3 straight trips for the first time in program history. Valpo still has this game and 2 or more left on the road trip series overall. It's actually a 4-game series. It will go home after this competition. Later tonight, we'll arrive home back at Valparaiso. But the difference is they're going to be going on the road as well on Wednesday, leaving Wednesday evening, traveling to play Bradley on Thursday. So bit of difference there in terms of looking at the statistics and everything overall. But really, looking at it, Valparaiso, they're going to be in a big one here, as this is a game of 2 or more left in this road trip series, which will be the longest for the Beacons since 1980 when they were in the North Star Conference. A big difference here. This is a long road trip for both of really this team here for Valparaiso. We haven't seen a road trip of 4 games since 1980. Valpo kind of going on a little bit of history, and if they can make a historical run, it would be even more amazing for this Valparaiso squad. Valparaiso can also get 2 wins in a row for the first time since playing both Indiana State and Evansville last season in 2021. They went on a road trip series to take on the Sycamores and the Purple Aces, winning in both of those matchups. So a big difference there as well for Valparaiso. And looking at it as well, if Valpo also halts in a win, they can even have a chance to win 3 straight games here at the Fieldhouse, which will be a first for the Beacons in team history to win 3 straight games here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse. We'll take a look into the conference standings, which are brought to you by First Source Bank. Strong, stable, local, personal banking. That's First Source Bank. Looking into it overall, still leading the Valley is Illinois State. They have just lost a matchup. They were on an 11-game winning streak, and they're just one of the last 3 for the Redbirds, 19-7 overall. Right behind them, UNI sitting at 13-3 in the Valley, just right behind Illinois State. UNI is looking to try to take over the top of the Redbirds, as Missouri State and Belmont are both 12-3. Drake sitting at 11-5 in the Valley. UIC and Evansville, as well as Southern Illinois, all at 6-9. Murray State and Indiana State both at 5-10. And finishing out Valparaiso and Bradley in the conference standings. Valparaiso 3-12. Bradley still looking for their first Valley win overall this season, as we're going to head it to the PA announcer for the national anthem.
As a part of our for K-Game this afternoon, we recognize those we played for today who have battled breast cancer in the past, are currently battling today, or whose battle has concluded. Please join our prayers, our players, coaches, and staff in a moment of reflection and hope. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we ask that you are willing and able to please stand as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Valley Conference and the University.
And that is the national anthem played by the Evansville University Pep Band, a lovely mematorium. It is also Pink Day here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse for the Purple Aces, honoring victims of cancer as well as just the survivors of cancer as well. Just a wonderful thing that they've been able to do here. Play for K-Day happened last week for the Beacons, and it's happening here at Evansville this afternoon. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, which are brought to you by Royal Excursion, the travel partner of Valparaiso Athletics. Looking for the Beacons here in this competition, they want to play up to the tempo of Evansville. That's really going to be a reliance on Valparaiso in this game, is playing up to that tempo in transition, especially for both offense and defense. Rely on their perimeter defense as well here in this game, as Valpo has been able to do so here in practice in the last coming days, and Valparaiso really relying on their defensive game for Mary Evans, especially in that game against Indiana State. And the big difference here is against Evansville, another team that plays a very good defensive squad and good in transition as well. One other thing to mention for the Beacons, they want to trap at the baseline down low in the RA, is what Mary Evans had told me to call it. She said, you know, you call it the lower circle, I love that, but she goes, you can also call it the RA. So we're going to call it the RA here in this competition, just to get a little bit of personality here in this game. So if they trap down low at the RA, that's really where things are going to rely on down low for Valparaiso, especially in their defensive game. They've worked heavily on a 3-2 zone, even a 1-3-1, offering up in a few different scenarios for Valpo in practice. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with here in this competition this afternoon. Looking to Evansville, really just rely on getting to the high post, force the zone down low. Valparaiso like to try to drive in down low to the lower block. If Evansville puts up a good defensive effort down low in the RA as well as the lower blocks, that's really where they're going to strive in terms of their defensive game. And the same thing is when they're on the perimeter, Valparaiso likes to guard up high, have Evansville guard down low, let Valpo take a couple of those threes, because when Valpo's offered up a lot of threes, they actually seem to struggle in games rather than driving down low. So a big difference could allude to either side here on the floor this afternoon. And also around the dribble drive going left side, as Valparaiso likes to drive to the right side on a lot of plays. The only player I wouldn't allow on that side would be Olivia Brown in this competition. She knows what she wants in terms of her aspects of every game. She really won't drive to the left side as much as she would in other aspects. So definitely a big outlier here in this competition this afternoon. Let's take a look at today's starting lineups, which are brought to you by Northwest Health. Schedule an appointment today at mycarenorthwesthealth.com. First, let's start with the Valparaiso Beacons and then get to the Evansville Purple Aces, in which they are announcing here just now with the PA announcer. They are running out onto the floor after they did just a big little celebration thing for them here to be able to give us the starting lineups. And still trying to get that up and running for you on the Wi-Fi that is currently here. Looks like we're finally going to be able to get it here, as Valparaiso is going to be starting number 1, Emma Tecca, number 11, Allie Saunders, number 32, Maya Dunson, number 33, Olivia Sims, and number 4, Elise Pitts. The Beacons, of course, coached by Mary Evans in her 5th season overall here at Valparaiso. And looking to the visitors, the Evansville Purple Aces, seeing a pretty routine starting squad here coming into this competition, as we're seeing Kennedy Mason Stuyvesant, Anna Newman just coming back in the last game after an injury. Number 14, Abby Fight. Number 21, Anaya Griffin. And number 3, Barbara Tolman-Sova are all going to be starting here in this competition for the Purple Aces for Robin Sherwell's squad here in this competition. These two teams matched up pretty well against one another in the last game. Evansville taking the win in the last competition. We'll see if Valpo can really flip the script here in this game this afternoon, as we'd like to thank you for joining us on our Northwest Health women's basketball pregame show. Of course, every pregame show brought to you by Northwest Health, as Valparaiso is going to be wearing their alternative gray uniforms here in this competition with the white trim and the black lettering for Valparaiso. Looking to the opposite side, Evansville is going to be wearing their white home uniforms with orange trim and purple lettering here this afternoon. Valparaiso is going to be starting off going from right to left, and Evansville is going to be starting off from left to right here in this competition. one thing to mention in this aspect of a broadcast is you're on the road and you're trying to get stuff printed out at a hotel. No biggie most of the time. Except this hotel, I was only able to get the spot charts printed out, and the ink completely ran out. Came here to Evansville. Their ink ran out before I could be able to get everything done. So I will be reading a little bit of the live reads on my iPad that is next to me here, and which is also taking stats. It's a solo broadcast, so I also got a MacBook running commercials, and I've got an entire other MacBook running OBS Studio, which we are broadcasting on here this afternoon to bring you live on YouTube. So lots going on here, and especially on a solo broadcast with a new audio board, we've got a lot of action here. But regardless, it's going to be fun. It's going to be one heck of a matchup, and stay tuned here for all the action of this competition here this afternoon. Two teams that are looking to get on the winning streaks. They just came off of losing streaks of 4 games apiece. Now, after 2 big wins for both of these squads, it'll be a heck of a matchup coming here as the officials are looking over to the scores table to wait for things to get started here on ESPN's side of things. As the head official will head to the center of the floor for the opening tip-off of this competition. Maya Dunson as well as Barbara Toman-Sova are going to be tipping off in center circle. Good tip by the official. Got to give her some credit for that one as well. Evansville winning the opening tip as Newman carries that basketball in. Gets inside to Griffin, who looks inside right block to Toman-Sova. Rolls around the iron. That's no good. Almost an action shot, if you like to call it, with that one. As a rebound goes down low, calls as a jump ball. Possession arrow going the Beacons' way, so they'll win the basketball for their opening possession. No one really could haul in that last rebound on the attempt. Quite a few players tried, but did not succeed, unfortunately, as Sims is able to inbound here. As Mary Evans said in the postgame show yesterday, expect Evansville to press up almost the entirety of this game. They just pressed up with a 2-2-1, posting 2 at the baseline, 2 down low on the 2 offenders for Valpo's side, and then they had 1 down low at the top of the perimeter. Valparaiso now on the offensive end as Allie Saunders contains at the point, kicks the pitch right wing, and a foul is going to be called. It's going to be on the Purple Aces, and it'll be on number 0, Kennedy Mason Stuyvesant, her first and the team's first as well of this competition. 9:18 left to go. We're scoreless here in the first quarter. Inbound goes to Saunders. She's in between the circles, steps left, goes right. Contains, finds Pitts at the near arc. Contains to Dunson in the near corner. To Pitts, swings it around to Teka, kicks it to Sims. Sims drives in, right block, gets blocked away as well on the right block by Abby Fight. Fight averages a block a game. She gets one there already. Dunson just tried to match up down low. Saw an opening for just a second, wasn't able to open just enough. Basketball going off of the Purple Aces, number 21, Anaya Griffin, as Saunders just passed it in and hit right on the back, and Saunders touched the basketball as she was out of bounds. Almost an established play that could have been set up, but just goes out of bounds off of Saunders as Evansville drives down at a travel call on Anaya Griffin as she's down low on the short side in the short corner. 8:52 left to go, still scoreless here in the first quarter as Saunders contains the basketball for Valparaiso. Crosses the timeline, kicks to Pitts in the right wing. Pitts looks inside, scans the interior, swings it out to Sims. Sims contains it the left wing with a bounce pass to Saunders. Drives in the perimeter for just a second with a handoff to Teka. Teka from 15 foot kicks back out to Saunders once again. 7 left on the shot clock. Saunders the kick to Pitts. This one's from Iowa. Makes it in. Elise Pitts puts Valparaiso up at 3-0 early here in the first quarter. Newman with the handoff to Griffin for the Purple Aces. Basketball gets knocked away for just a second. Goes right off the hands of Stuyvesant, out of bounds. Good defense by Allie Saunders, able to get a hand touch in there to force a turnover for the Purple Aces. Saunders now with the basketball here for the Beacons. Bounce passes it to Dunson. Dunson stands the inside with a kick to Saunders. Puts up a pop fake, kicks back to Pitts at the top of the key. Kicks near arc to Dunson. Swings it back to Teka, skips it to Sims. Now rings it over to Saunders at the far arc. Puts up a pump fake, 6 on the shot clock. She's in the paint, gets blocked away by Anaya Griffin of the Purple Aces. Evansville now coming down the floor with speed. Handoff from Fight, goes to Newman, right back to Fight. This one's from Iowa. That's no good. And a rebound hauled in by Elise Pitts. Pitts thought she had Saunders, loses the basketball. Stuyvesant able to pick it up, and an easy layup up and in for the first score of the Purple Aces here in this competition. Evansville still down by 1. A pass down low to Teka, and that's up and in. Cher Wells for the Purple Aces wanted a travel call. She wasn't going to get it. I honestly thought that there was going to be a traveling violation by Teka, but they're just going to count it at the Euro step. A 5-2 lead here. Beacons up by 3. Shot up and in for Tomensova at the 10-foot marker in the lane. Saunders going down the floor, finds Teka in the far corner after a Lambo pass is what we like to call it here. Or Hail Mary, whatever you want to call. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Elise Pitts. An illegal screen by Pitts, something she's been known to do almost every game so far this season. She was unhappy with the call, trying to explain herself to the head official. Probably not going to win that one. Her hands weren't set. She wasn't set either. Not going to win every single call, but some you are. 5-4, 1-point lead here for the Beacons. A pass to Tomensova. Puts up a pump fake, kicks out, and a foul is going to be coming down the interior on Valparaiso.
Personal foul, Valparaiso 32.
It'll be on number 32, Maya Dunson. Her first and the team's second here of this first quarter with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in action. Fight on the near baseline, inbounds to Stuyvesant with a kick to Griffin from the right wing. Misses that attempt. Rebound hauled in by the Purple Aces, and an up and in opportunity for Barbara Tomensova. Tomensova now with 4 points here in this competition as Evansville gets their first lead of the game, 6-5. Saunders with the basketball, kicks out to Sims in the far corner. She drives in the interior, throws up a shot, gets fouled. And we'll see Olivia Sims head of the charity stripe for repair.
Personal foul, Evansville, 11, Ellie Morgan. First personal.
Foul ends up being called on number 11, Ellie Morgan. Her first and the team's second. Purple Aces bringing in a sub of Celine DuPont. I apologize for not seeing Ellie Morgan check into the game. I did not actually see her come out onto the floor until just seeing where she fouled. Sims makes the first at the line, puts us at a tie game with 6-all. 6:13 left to go. Sims coming into this game shooting 73% from the charity stripe this season. And she makes them both. Puts Valparaiso back in a 1-point lead. Evansville looking to etch their way back into this game as Ellie Morgan with a kick to the far side of the floor to Griffin. Griffin goes right back to Morgan. Morgan at the low baseline with the kick. Gets blocked away for just a second as DuPont trying to offer up a shot. Looks like Saunders and Dunson both got a hand in there. Abby Fight to inbound here for the Purple Aces. Far baseline. Looks, finally gets it into DuPont. Hands it right back off to Fight. She's at the left wing with a kick to Griffin. Goes inside of the left block to DuPont. Almost loses the basketball. Kick out to an open Griffin for 3. And that's no good. Pitt's able to haul on a rebound for the Beacons. Goes down the floor to Dunson. Now at the left wing. Hands it off to Sims. Right contains right next to her at the left wing. Swinging around is Pitts to Saunders. Saunders scans the interior, looks, tries to find Pitts, goes with the bounce pass option at the top of the key to Dunson. Swings it back to Pitts at the right wing. She tries to drive it and gets it blocked away by DuPont. And a jump ball is going to be called as Teka got a hand in there with DuPont as DuPont fell down the floor. Evansville has the possession arrow, so they're going to take over the basketball here as Olivia Brown will check in for the Beacons. She'll go in for Olivia Sims. Olivia for Olivia happens a lot in the game. 5:25 left to go here. A 7-6 lead for Valparaiso in the first quarter. Evansville with the offensive end as Morgan makes a handoff to Stuyvesant. She goes near side, blocked away. A touch goes out of bounds by the Beacons. Evansville's going to inbound at the near baseline. Newman to inbound for the Purple Aces. Scans the lane. Ends up going out towards the short corner near side. Kick back to Newman as she's at the right wing. Dribbles with the left hand, takes a deep 3, rolls around, that's no good. Pitts trying to get the rebound, goes out of bounds. Last touch off of Morgan's hand for the Purple Aces. Ellie Morgan, the 5'10 freshman, played some good defense so far here in this game. Definitely tell why she gets a lot of playing time on the floor for the Purple Aces. Bounce pass to Teka, swings it to Brown, who then skips it over to Dunson with the left hand layup. Maya Dunson with the up and in. A 3-point lead now here for the Beacons. 4:45 left to go in the first quarter. Handoff goes to Morgan for the Purple Aces with a driving attempt in the lane. Foul is going to be called. That's going to be on Valparaiso's number 11, Allie Saunders. Her first and the team's third here of this first quarter, which will bring us to a media timeout. We're going to head to a break. A 9-6 lead here early for Valparaiso. 4:41 left to go in the first quarter. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than TicketSmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Today's broadcast of Valpo Women's Basketball is brought to you by Culver's. Enjoy the Culver's Deluxe, layered with real Wisconsin cheese, crisp lettuce, white tomatoes, pickles, sweet red onion, and our signature mayo. It's topped with a lightly buttered toasted bun. It's our Butterburger at its best. Welcome to Delicious. We're back here in the Meeks Family Fieldhouse. I'm Zach Collins, bringing you all the action here of this competition here this afternoon between Valparaiso and Evansville. Valpo currently with a 3-point lead, 9-6 over Evansville here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse. And really, it's been just a dominant performance for Valpo on the defensive end. Valpo's got blocked away on offense twice so far here in this game already. And that's just because Evansville, they've got some height down low. They've got Abby Feit sitting at 6'1". They've also got Celine Dupont sitting at 6'4" here. And looking as well, they got Barbara Tomansova sitting at 6'3". So they've really got three bigger players to rely on down low to be able to offer up some opportunities for their squad. And really, that's been a big difference here in this competition so far. These big opportunities that you haven't been able to see in other aspects of the game, where Valpo, really the same thing against Indiana State, relying on their defense here so far in this competition. As both teams are going to be taking the floor here once again. This even almost be a longer media timeout than we had as usual. It is play for K-Day here, so if you hear over the PA announcements any mention of the cancer survivors, that is because it is play for K-Day, honoring breast cancer awareness as well as cancer awareness here in Cancer Survivors. Overall here, especially in the Evansville community, Valparaiso having their own for the community last week as Evansville takes up a shot, a rebound, hauled in, up and in by Barbara Tomansova for the Purple Aces. 4:22 left to go here in the first quarter. A 1-point lead here for Valparaiso. Dunson contains at the point, scans the interior, looks out, finds Teka, dribbles in for just a second with a kick out to Dunson, swings it to Brown. Brown tries driving in. She's at the short corner, far side, kick out, back to Dunson for the shot clock. She's going to have to try to drive in. Shots made, but a foul called on the floor before the shot. Fouls on to Mansova. Her first and the team's third. Mansova, a very good player on the floor for the Purple Aces, especially in the defensive game, just offering up a foul there on that aspect. Saunders with a kick to Brown. Shot clock did reset. Brown tries driving in the left block with a kick out back to Saunders. Saunders dribbles behind her back, a jump back, step back, three-pointer, nothing but net for Allie Saunders. 12-8 lead here now for Valparaiso. Evansville in the offensive end once again. Stuyvesant looks inside at Tumansova, offers up a shot. That's no good. Saunders almost had a rebound, but taken away by Morgan of the Purple Aces. Newman kicks out Stuyvesant from downtown. Misses that attempt as that basketball goes out of bounds. Valpo will have the basketball here after the shot attempt flew out for Evansville. 3:26 left to go here in the first quarter. See Mary Evans signaling with her hand, kind of pick up the pace here for her Valpo squad. Saunders with a handoff to Teka. She's at the front court right with a kick to Brown at the point. Swings it near side in the corner. Now by Brown. From Pitts, offers up a three. Looks like it might have been touched away, but an air ball for Olivia Brown. Newman with the basketball down the floor, stops, goes back towards the perimeter with a kick out near side. An open three look is no good for the Purple Aces as Stuyvesant tried to offer up a shot. And a foul is going to be called, an offensive foul on the Purple Aces. That'll be on number 14, Abby Fight. That'll be her first and the team's fourth with 2:53 left to go here in the first. Brown looking to inbound, gets it to Saunders with a 2-1-2 press offered up here by Evansville. Saunders now at the top of the key with a kick to the right wing to Pitts. Goes right back top of the key for Interante. She just checked into the competition. Swings it back to Brown near side. Tries offer up in the lane. A kick out. Pitts with an open three is no good. And a rebound hauled in by Fight for the Purple Aces. Fight goes down the floor and with speed is Morgan as she passed to Morgan at the timeline. Kick back out, missed shot attempt for the Purple Aces. Saunders able to get a rebound as she comes down the floor with speed. Kick to Pitts, swings it to Dunson. Skips it near side in the corner to Brown. Tries transitioning in, kick out Interante, same play set up here, nothing but net. Splash, Ava Interante with the three. A 7-point lead here for Valparaiso. 2 minutes remain here in the first quarter. Morgan finds Tomansova in the near corner. Tomansova tries looking inside to Fight. She's in the lane. Tries off it up. A shot falls to the floor with the floater. Falls in, nothing but net. A 5-point lead now here for Valparaiso. Allie Saunders with the basketball. Hands it off to Dunson in between the circles. Dunson scans and an offensive foul and the illegal screen by Allie Saunders. That'll be her second and the team's fourth. Saunders with 2 early fouls here in this competition is going to bring her over to the bench as Leah Ernest will check in for the first time here this afternoon. Newman with the basketball for Evansville. Dribbles towards the left side, a handoff to Griffin. She looks up at the point to Fight. Fight at the left elbow, tries spinning down low to the left block. Offers up a shot, and an offensive foul is going to be called after Leah Ernest hauled in a rebound. Barbara Tomansova being called for the second foul and the team's fifth. Tomansova looks to be that she's going to check out as number 22, Josie Hudson, will check in here for the Purple Aces. Since Ernest did get the rebound, they are going to call Valpo on the offensive end as she maintained possession after that shot attempt. Dunson going to the line here for Valparaiso. Not one of the better free throw shooters for Valpo this season, as she misses the first, just shooting 54% coming into this game this season. Valpo the 5-point lead, 1:22 left to go here in the first quarter. Dunson can't make either at the foul line, and Evansville able to get the rebound as Newman comes charging down the floor. with speed, offers up a layup. That's no good, but a foul's going to be called on the shot attempt. It'll be on number 4 of these pits for the Beacons and the team's 5th. So regardless of the shot or not, Anna Newman will head at the charity stripe. Newman shooting 70% this season. Actually led last season in free throw percentage, shooting 78.8% from the charity stripe. And a quiet gym here as Newman's able to make it in the first. Valpo still with a 4-point lead here in this competition. Native out of Evansville, Indiana. Still here in Evansville, Indiana, as she makes them both. Still 3-point lead for Valparaiso. A 3-2 press offered up here by the Purple Aces, but an easy inbound for Valparaiso to Pitts. Pitts comes charging on the floor, hands off to Dunson at the right wing. Now contained by Eva Interante at the point. A kick to Ernest, swings it to Brown. Brown at the point, tries driving in. Now at the left elbow, gets it left away for just a second, picked up by Dunson for the Beacons. Back to Brown, tries driving in, offers up a shot, misses the attempt. Foul is called, and it will be on number 11, Ellie Morgan for Evansville, her second, and the team already over 5 with 6 overall fouls for Evansville. Olivia Brown, one of the better free throw shooters for this Beacon squad this season, sitting at 77.6% as she makes the first. If we're going by games played and attempts at the charity stripe, Allie Saunders is above Olivia Brown, but Brown sitting at the second spot as she makes her second as well. Put Valpo back at a 5-point lead here. 54 seconds remain of the first quarter. Newman with the basketball for Evansville with a kick near side of Morgan. She tries looking in the interior to find at the right block, up and in. Abby Fight with the left hand. Good shot taken by Fight, and a good find on the inside for Evansville. Shot clock and game clock separated. Looks to be just about 8 seconds apiece. Actually, a little bit more than that. It'll be 12 seconds apiece as Brown tries offering up a 3. Spalash for Olivia Brown, able to knock down that 3-point attempt, but Valpo on a 6-point lead. Abby Fight contains down here for the Purple Aces, swings it to Newman. Game clock at 10 seconds, shot clock turned off. Newman swings it around to Hudson. Griffin from downtown knocks it in. A 3-point lead here for Valparaiso. Time expires here to end the first quarter of action. What a game we've got for you here, and a much higher scoring game than the last game for both of these teams in regulation. At the end of the first quarter, Valparaiso up 20-17. We're going to head to a media timeout to break down the early portion of this competition. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Birthday parties, vacations, family reunions. We've all had to postpone important activities, but taking care of your health isn't something you should put off. Wellness visits and screenings can identify health issues in the earliest stages when they're most treatable. And Northwest Medical Group is taking extra precautions to provide a safe and clean environment. We're committed to helping you stay well, and we offer both telehealth and in-person visits. Schedule an appointment today at mycarenorthwesthealth.com.
Hey, you! Don't do it! Don't take that job when you can have a career.
I'd love a career, but where?
At First Source Bank, we offer a variety of fulfilling career opportunities, schedule flexibility, good pay and benefits, educational opportunities for personal growth, and a chance to work with amazing people just like yourself. Join us.
Learn more at firstsource.com/careers. That's the number one, stsource.com. An equal opportunity employer. Male, female, disabled, veteran.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURthesource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
The 2023 Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament hits a hardwood at Vibrant Arena at the Mark Center, March 9th through the 12th in Moline, Illinois. Buy your all-session tickets to Hoops in the Heartland today and save $20 just by calling 219-464-5233 or order online at valpoathletics.com. Get your tickets and experience Hoops in the Heartland. We're back here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse on the campus of Evansville University for some Valpo women's basketball action. A high-scoring game already here in the second quarter as we're going to head into here. A 20-17 lead here for Valparaiso. And let's break down the first quarter of action as Evansville shooting 38.9% from the field, just 14.3% from three. A lot of their opportunities have been offered up on the interior so far this game. Leading in scoring for the Purple Aces so far, Barbara Tomansova with 6 points, followed right behind by number 14, Abby Fight with 4, as she's also hauled in 3 rebounds so far in this competition as well. Looking at the opposite side of things, looking at the Valparaiso Beacons, shooting 54.5% in the first quarter, a 66.7% percentage from 3, and they're 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. Leading in scoring for Valparaiso is number 2, Olivia Brown, with 5 points here. She only played half the time in the first quarter overall. Already offering up 5 points, sitting right behind her. 2 players with 3 points, Evelise Pitts and Allie Saunders as well, to end the first quarter of action, as we're about to be heading here to the second. One of the officials looking over at the scorers table, making sure that the possession arrow is going the correct way. They had it set actually going for Evansville for just a second from what I understand, or at least what I've seen in the aspect. They finally fixed things at the table. As the official goes over and explains things for the Evansville bench. Olivia Brown right in front of me at the center line. Inbounds it to Pitts. Second quarter is underway as Valpo is up 20-17 starting the second. Interante at the front court, right side, kicks it to Pitts, near side. Pitts looks, scans, finds Brown at the left wing. Kicks it to Ernest at the left wing. Kick back out to Interante as she attempts with the drive-in. A high shot goes off the glass, no good. And a rebound hauled in by Anaya Griffin for the Purple Aces. Griffin kicks near side to Hudson, back to Griffin at the right wing. Looks inside, finds Fight. Fight fights her way into the interior, offers up a shot, but gets fouled on the shooting attempt. The shooting attempt. It's almost like I forgot how to speak for just a second there. Foul offered up by Valparaiso's number 41, Jada Johnston. Her first and the team's first here at this competition. Fight going to the charity stripe here for the Purple Aces, shooting 78.3% this season. She's the second best free throw shooter here for the Purple Aces, as leading for Evansville is Mia Clark, shooting 83% from the foul marker. Fight does make them both, puts it at a 2-point competition. 20-18, Valparaiso still leads here. Pitts comes down the floor in between the circles. A kick to Johnson near side. Goes back to Ernest at the top of the key. A kick to Brown at the right wing. Puts up a pump fake. Attempts with the drive-in. Kicks inside at Johnson. Just too high arcing the shot. Gets her own rebound into the up and in for Jada Johnston. Good job by Johnston to just drive up. Really just follow her shot. That was the biggest aspect. She was almost double-teamed down low. As Evansville gets double-teamed down low here, they kick back out. And 3-second violation as Evansville's in the lane for just a little bit too long. Valparaiso is going to bring in 2 subs of Olivia Sims as well as Allie Saunders. Evansville is going to bring in a sub of their own of number 12, Celine DuPont. She'll check in for Josie Hudson. Sims with an inbound to Saunders. Purple Aces trying to put up a press. But really, there's only been one circumstance where we've seen it be an aspect of negotiation, if we like to call it, for the basketball. Interante at the near arc, tries driving in, scans back out, loses the basketball as it's stripped away for just a second. Johnson able to pick it up here for Valparaiso. Saunders with the ball, bounce pass to Ernest as she's at top of the key. 3 on the shot clock, tries kicking out. Johnson loses track of the shot clock, and a turnover for Valparaiso. You can even hear the fan section that we've kind of got behind us here counting down the shot clock. Probably just taking the outside noise out and focusing on the game was Johnson in that circumstance. Valpo still up by 4. Evansville with the basketball. Morgan kicks in the corner near side to DuPont. Goes right back out at the right wing to Fight. Fight looks over, scans, finds Newman as she's now in between the circles. Signals up with her left hand, dribbles with the right. Mid-range jumper is no good for Newman. And a rebound hauled in by Valpo's Olivia Sims. Hands it off to Saunders as Saunders comes down the floor jogging. Now picks up the pace, steps back. Now in between the circles with a bounce pass to Johnson. Johnson to the left of her, goes right back to the right side of her to Saunders. Saunders tries driving in, now in the lane, tries spinning, offers up a shot, but gets fouled in the attempt. Shooting foul is going to be called on Anaya Griffin. That'll be her first, and Evansville's first here of the quarter. Saunders, the best free throw shooter here for Valparaiso, is going to head to the line to shoot 2. Griffin will check out here as Stuyvesant will check in for the Purple Aces. Saunders looking to get the first as she makes that one. Really, the attempted drive by Saunders didn't even look like it was going to be close, but gets a foul called regardless, so it just falls through. Kind of catches a break on the attempt as Saunders makes them both at the foul marker. Saunders in this game now with 4 points for the Beacons out of their 24 so far here in this game. Newman coming down the floor for the Purple Aces at the far arc. Looks inside to Fight as she tries to just drive inside. Offers up a shot for the and one. Abby Fight. Mary Evans trying to say that the foul should be called on the floor.
Personal foul, Valparaiso 1.
Probably not going to win that call. This is going to be called on Valparaiso's number 1, Emma Tecca, her first and the team's second, as Fight is looking to finish off the three-point play. As she does there with that attempt. Abby Fight 6 points here in the second quarter of action. 7:13 left to go. A 3-point lead still stands here for Valparaiso. Saunders finds Dunson at the far arc. Scans the interior, looks back out to Sims in between the circles. Looks down low in the lane to Ernest. She tries driving, spins up and in for Leah Ernest. Puts Valpo up at a 5-point lead here as Newman tries driving in, gets fouled on the shot attempt, and she'll go to the line for a pair of her own. That's a tough shot for Newman. Amazing that she was actually able to stand up on the hardwood and didn't come down crashing to the floor. Foul ends up being called on number 22, Leah Ernest, her first and the team's third here in this competition for Valparaiso. Newman, a perfect 2 of 2 so far here in this game from the charity stripe. Offers up the first. 4-point lead here once again for Valparaiso with 6:49 left to go. Newman looks and makes the second as well at the charity stripe. She's a perfect 4-4 here in this competition as Valparaiso is up by 3. Tecca swings near side to Ernest. Puts up the pump, up and in for Ernest with the left hand layup attempt. That's 2 in a row for Leah Ernest for the Beacons. Evansville trying to answer back with a look of their own. And a missed attempt by Morgan. Offers up in a traveling violation down low of DuPont as she just tries to go out of bounds even for just a second. Valparaiso is going to take over with the turnover. Simza inbound, finds Pitts as she crosses the timeline now. Pitts scans over, finds Dunson with a kick to Sims. Hands off to Ernest at the top of the key. Ernest looks over right wing to Sims, and a travel called on Olivia Sims. Olivia Sims, really, you could count one on hand about every game for Sims to get a travel called on those attempts. Just moving her pivot foot a little bit too much. Not like the floor is too slick or anything in that circumstance. A kick for the Purple Aces, inside fight. Airball's a shot. Teka able to haul in the rebound, if you'd like to call it that, on the attempt. Pitts out to Teka at the top of the key. Goes right side to Pitts. Tries to look inside for Ernest. Ernest gets double teamed down low. Tries offering up a shot, and a travel is going to be called by Leah Ernest. Mary Evans just shaking her head in discontent. A 28-23 lead here for Valparaiso in the second quarter. 5:35 left to go as Newman dribbles the basketball for Evansville. A kick at the point for Morgan. Offers up to Stuyvesant at the far side. Mason Stuyvesant not able to offer up that three-point opportunity. And Ernest able to haul a rebound. Pitts goes down the floor to Teka at the left wing. Transitions in, kicks out, finds Pitts. Throws to the right side to Dunson. Dunson goes right back to Ernest, who then dribbles back towards between the circles. Sims to Teka. Teka looks far side to Sims. Catches it like a football player in the far corner. Now tries to drive it in, offers up a shot off the glass. That's no good as she falls to the floor. Probably not the best of opportunities for Olivia Sims, but probably really the only opportunity could have offered up with a shot clock. Kick out the fight. Nothing but net for Abby Fight of the Purple Aces. And a timeout is going to be taken by Mary Evans, and we'll take them with them. A 28-26 lead here for Valparaiso. 4:46 left to go in the second quarter of action. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network, streaming live exclusively on YouTube.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry?
Howie!
The postseason starts here. The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship takes the court at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, March 9th through 12th in Moline. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Hoops in the Heartland, presented by Great Southern Bank and Grinnell Mutual Insurance. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233. Or visit MVCQuadCities.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Hey Valpo sports fans, Wings Center Grill and Pub located at 501 North Silhavy and East Chicago Street has lunch special featuring wings, burgers, wraps, rib tips, and more at amazing lunch prices. Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by and visit them today. Can't dine in? Order online at togo.wingsetc.com. Wings Center Grill and Pub in Valparaiso. We are back here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse on the campus of Evansville University for some women's basketball action. Valparaiso taking on Evansville. If you're just joining us here, Mary Evans just called a timeout for her squad. 28-26 as Valparaiso wasn't able to offer up any opportunities with 2 turnovers down low on shot attempts, and Evansville looking on the opposite side of their 2 of their last 2 here in this competition. So lots more action to take place here as Valparaiso, 3 of the last 4 is what this says, but they did miss 2 shot attempts on the other 2 shot attempts just before. Evansville on the opposite side of things, just trying to look to get back within things. Both teams playing good defense here in the second quarter as compared to the first. As in the first quarter of action, it was a bit of a different game as we saw Valpo with a 20-17 lead. Now just with 8 points here. They look to be on track once again to be able to really almost reach that 40 mark coming to the halftime portion of this game. Valpo will inbound at the baseline to start things off here. Mary Evans talking to one of the officials at the far side of the floor as he steps back to the near side towards the sidelines. Sims inbound for Valparaiso. Looks in, finds Pitts. Pitts easily coming down the floor. She crosses the timeline. Now in between the circles. Singles with her left hand. Drive to the right side with a handoff to Dunson at the far arc. Finds Sims at the top of the key. Drive in attempt, gets fouled, and it looks like Olivia Sims will be going to the charity stripe.
Personal foul up until 25.
Foul's going to be on number 25, Lexi Sinclair. Her first and the team's second for the Purple Aces. Sinclair getting some action here after this is the first action of the game for the sophomore. Ends up already ending up on the scoring sheet in some way. Sims able to make in the first, but misses the second, splitting the pair at the foul line. Now 3 of 4 here in this competition. Valpo with a 3-point lead. As the Purple Aces, Ellie Morgan has the basketball. A bounce pass to DuPont at the top of the key. Looks at Sinclair, goes inside for Fight. Offers up a shot, and a travel is going to be called on Abby Fight as she tried to go in. A turnover here for the Purple Aces as Valparaiso is going to make a substitution to bring in Olivia Brown. She'll check in here for Olivia Sims. Bounce pass goes inside. Stuyvesant, Mason Stuyvesant for the Purple Aces able to take away the basketball. She gets it to DuPont, looks to Fight. Fight for 3, that's no good. And a rebound hauled in by Elise Pitts. Pitts with speed, comes down the floor, looks, stops, finds Ernest now at the top of the key. Ernest looking to the left side, now scans the interior, looks right, finds Tekka. Tekka looks inside herself, can't find any opportunity inside, looks at the near wing to Pitts. Pitts tries offering up a left-hand attempt, which is no good. DuPont able to hold in a rebound for the Purple Aces. 3:35 left to go here in the second quarter. Mason Stuyvesant going down to the right block, kicks back out to Fight in the lane, offers up a shot. That's no good. Pitts able to haul on a rebound, and a foul is going to be called on the Purple Aces.
Personal foul up until 12. Celine DuPont.
Foul is going to be called on Celine DuPont. Her first and the team's third for the Purple Aces. 3:25 left to go here as Brown is to inbound for Valparaiso. She finds Pitts as Pitts continues down the floor. Crosses the timeline, kick back to Brown on the left wing. Brown signals over with her left hand. Pitts and Ernest switch off as the basketball not contained by Ernest. Handoff to Pitts on the left side. Right back to Dunson with the handoff on the right side. Dunson tries going inside of the lane, kick out, Tekka from downtown, and it's going to be counted as a 2-point attempt for Emma Tekka. Foot was on the line. Nonetheless, 31-26, Valparaiso leads. Mason Stuyvesant with a handoff here to Morgan. Kick back out to Newman at the left wing. Newman gets a screen, doesn't roll off of it. Now rolls off of it here, and an illegal screen is going to be called on Celine DuPont. As Tekka just ran right into her, almost a grab by DuPont on the attempt. That'll be DuPont's second and Evansville's fourth. Purple Aces are going to bring. They're going to bring in number 22, Josie Hudson. I don't know why they said Fight on the PA announcements, because it was Hudson who did check in for DuPont. Regardless, Valparaiso with the basketball. Ernest tries driving down low, and a foul is going to be called on the floor. Low, and a foul is going to be called on the floor. That'll be on number 14, Abby Fight for the Purple Aces, her second and the team's fifth. So we'll see Leah Ernest head to the foul marker to shoot 2. Ernest shooting 60% this season from the foul line. Misses the first as it breaks off the back of the iron. 2:28 left to go here in this first half. Ernest able to split the pair, making the second. A 32-26 lead here for Valparaiso. Morgan at the right wing with a kickback at the top of the key to Hudson. Hudson looks inside for Fight. A spin and up and in for Fight. Abby Fight able to knock that one down as Valpo's looking for an answer of their own here. Pitts with a handoff to Ernest in between the circles. Kick to Pitts at the right wing. She steps, looks in, drives, kick out. Tekka swings. Now around the perimeter of the Beacons. Now containment here by Brown with a driving attempt and an offensive foul with a charge attempt is going to be called on Olivia Brown. Her first and the team's fourth of this game. Anna Newman falling to the ground hard. Actually sitting on the ground. Must have been a hard hit by Brown on Newman. Gets up, looks like she is okay. Faces the bench and shakes her head yes. She'll stay in the game here with 1:52 left to go in the second quarter. Crosses the timeline, now at the top of the key. Kicks it to Morgan. Morgan tries looking inside to Fight at the right block. Fight with a kick out here. Mason Stuyvesant now looks in as she contained from the left wing, coast to coast. Up and in for Mason Stuyvesant. A 2-point game with 1:30 left to go. Pitts at the top of the key, swings it right side to Brown. Brown looks in, kick out to Tekka. A deep three, rolls around, falls through, Emma Tekka. A 5-point lead here once again for the Beacons. Newman drives down the floor. Tekka gets two hands on it and almost a setup right to Elise Pitts. She could have got a kill and volleyball was in action here. Ernest now at the top of the key with under a minute remaining. Swings it to Dunson. Kick back out to Brown near wing. Brown drives in. Euro step up and in is no good with the layup attempt. And a rebound hauled in by Fight. Underhands it to Newman as Newman crosses the timeline here. Newman goes over to the right side. Hand off to Mason Stuyvesant. Kicks far side of the floor for Morgan. Morgan tries looking into the interior. Left block. Touch away by Brown. Handled by Morgan. Kick out Mason Stuyvesant. Splashes that one in herself. Shot clock now turned off with 25 seconds left to go here of the second quarter. Valparaiso will have the last shot here in action as Evans takes a timeout here. That'll be Valparaiso's second timeout here of the competition.
30-second timeout.
That'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay with you here live on YouTube. Presenting Valparaiso women's basketball right here, sponsored by WVR The Source 95. A 35-33 lead here for the Beacons with 21.8 seconds left to go. It's been a game that's been back and forth all afternoon long, and one of the higher scoring games for both of these teams in the last couple of matchups. And you have to look at it, Valpo won the last game 54-47 against Indiana State. It was in the 20s at the half. I believe it was actually tied 27-all at the half in that last game against the Sycamores. So kind of a difference here in this competition when comparing it to the last. Mary Evans drawing up a play on her side. Dunson's going to inbound on the far sideline of the floor. 21.8 seconds left to go. Inbound goes to Pitts. Pitts establishes control. Sits in between the circles, front court right side. Going to dribble down to the 10-second marker. They begin action here. A kick to Ernest at the top of the key. Ernest looks for Brown in the near wing. 5 seconds on the game clock. A kick out. Pitts to Tekka. This one's from Iowa. Misses the attempt. And that's going to end the first half of action here at Evansville. A 35-33 lead here for the Beacons as they are up by 2 heading into halftime. We're going to break down the entire first half of action for you here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network here on our RBW Halftime Show. So stay tuned as we're going to be right back here in 2 minutes. From Van Wagner, this is a Valpo Sports Radio Network.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
The postseason starts here. The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship takes the court at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, March 9th through 12th in Moline. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Hoops in the Heartland, presented by Great Southern Bank and Grinnell Mutual Insurance. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233. Or visit NBCQuadCities.com.
There's no need to fear. The First Source Bank mobile app is here. As fast as a mobile deposit. Built to pay bills instantaneously. Powered to balance budgets. And with a simple tap, a call is placed for that personal touch. All this power is disguised as a mild-mannered app on your phone, ready to fight for your financial freedom.
Reynolds and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse locations, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold and Feller, your family matters to ours.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Tournament returns to Vibrant Arena at the Mark in Moline, Illinois, March 9th through the 12th. Reserve your seat at Hoops in the Heartland just by calling 309-764-2001 or order online at NBCQuadCities.com. Get your tickets and experience Hoops in the Heartland. We are live here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse, bringing you Valparaiso women's basketball here on our halftime show, which is brought to you by the IBEW and Powering America team of Northwest Indiana. Let's take a look into the score as Valparaiso is up by 2, 35-33 lead here on play for K-Day at Evansville University. Looking into some of the stats, we're going to start off with the Purple Aces, as leading in scoring currently is number 14, Abby Fight, with 13 points here in this competition. She's 5 of 10, 50% from the field, and 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. She's already hauled in 6 rebounds and has 2 assists in 18 minutes of this competition here. Looking right behind her, scoring 7 points, is Kennedy Mason Stuyvesant. She's 3 of 7 from the field, has also swiped away 2 steals, and the only 2 steals for the Purple Aces of this competition so far in the first half of action. Right behind her, Barbara Tomansova with 6 points, 3 of 5 from the field with 2 rebounds and 1 assist in 7 minutes of action for Tomansova. Looking right behind her with 4 points is Anna Newman, coming off of an injury. All 4 of her points coming from the charity stripe as she's 4 of 4. 0 of 2 so far from the field in this game. And Anaya Griffin able to dish in 3 points, 1 of 3 from the field. Her 1 shot from the outside of the perimeter. Morgan, DuPont, Hudson, and Sinclair all played in this competition but have yet not scored. The only one who did shoot out of the 4 was Morgan, as she's 0 of 2 so far. Looking at Valparaiso with 35 points here in this competition in the first half. Leading in scoring is Emma Tecca with 8 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Able to haul in 2 rebounds and get away a steal. The only steal for Valparaiso so far in this competition as well. Looking at Emma Tecca on the season, only averages 0.2 steals per game. So big difference compared to how she'd been playing earlier this season. Able to get 8 points here. She was just averaging 1.6 points per game coming into this competition. But in her last 4 games overall, she's been up in the high single digits, even double digits of these competitions in Valley play. 3 other players with 5 points here in this game of Olivia Brown, Leah Ernest, and Allie Saunders. Looking down the line as well, Brown able to dish in 2 assists as well. She's 1 of 3. Leah Ernest is perfect from the field at a perfect 2 of 2 in this game so far. 2 players with 12 for Valparaiso of Interante, Sims, and Pitts. And 2 players with 2 points of Maya Dunson and Jada Johnston. Every player for Valparaiso that has seen the floor so far has scored in some way or fashion, if that be from the foul marker or that be from the field. Looking down the line as well, in terms of this competition, we have to compare these teams in terms of the comparison here, as everything has just completely collapsed on me here as we're trying to get things back up and running for the stat line here, as we'll give those to you shortly, as I was unfortunately not handed anything for the stats for this halftime show. But one thing that we can look at in terms of rebounding, Valparaiso at 16 rebounds, Evansville with 13 rebounds here so far. 14 defensive rebounds for the Beacons and 10 for the Purple Aces. 5 assists for Valparaiso and 7 for Evansville. 9 turnovers so far for Valparaiso. Not too bad for Valpo, especially when they're averaging 19 turnovers a game. Looking to the Purple Aces, only 6 turnovers. They average 17 a game, so not too bad for the Purple Aces on the opposite end as well. 10 points in the paint for the Beacons, 16 points in the paint for the Purple Aces. Looking down the line as well, 9 personal fouls for Valparaiso and 11 for Evansville. Valpo throughout this entire competition in the first half shot 50% from the field, 5 of 8 from the perimeter at 62.5%, and have been 8 of 12 from the charity stripe to make it a 66.7% free throw rating. Looking as well to the Purple Aces, they're shooting 41.4%. Really the only difference is they've taken 1 more shot than Valparaiso. 3 of 11 from the perimeter to bring it to 27.3% from 3. They are 6 of 7 from the foul marker to bring it to 85.7% here in this game. Really, the aspect of how Evansville's been able to stay in this competition has been their momentum coming down the floor. We've seen a lot of great opportunities offered up by the Purple Aces, and really the opportunities offered up by Abby Fight speak for themselves. I mean, she's 5 of 10, 50% from the field, one of the better players down low, and even one of the keys to the game to mention here in this competition. Valparaiso had to guard down low in the RA, and that lower circle portion, that's where Abby Fight likes to get a lot of her buckets. And really, she just relies on going from the right block to the left block. Doesn't stay in the lane for too long. There's only been 1 lane violation, and that was called on DuPont on the Purple Aces so far. So a big difference in this competition so far, as we are going to head to another media timeout. When we come back, we'll break down some of the scores from around the Valley and some of the top 25 scores in women's college basketball. So stay tuned. You're listening to the home of Valparaiso women's basketball from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of Hungry Howie's hot, real mozzarella cheese melting over a bed of dough made fresh today. And flavored crust loaded with any combination of our mouth-watering flavored crust flavors. You probably didn't think Irresistible had a sound. Well, it does now. Now get a meal deal for any budget starting at the irresistible price of just $5.99.
Hungry?
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
My yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
We really are trying to create this homestead.
there are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com. CASTRAC.com.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. TicketSmarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network. MVC student athletes are positively impacting the communities where they live by sharing views and fostering a climate for change for future Valley pioneers. To learn more about mobilizing voices for change, visit MVC-sports.com/OneValley. I'm Zach Collins, bringing you all the women's basketball action here this afternoon as we are currently in our IBW Empowering America Team of America halftime show. Just about 4 minutes underway before we begin the second half of action. Valparaiso up 35-33 here. Let's take a look around the Valley and some of the games here that are taking place, but not before we look into the top 25 of women's college basketball, as number 4 Utah is taking on Arizona State. Utah up 31-29 at the half of that competition. Number 5 LSU taking on Florida. 7:23 left to go in the third quarter. A 47-34 lead for LSU. 6:58 left to go in the third quarter between number 9 Duke and Virginia. A 39-29 10-point lead for the Blue Devils. Number 10 Notre Dame taking on Pittsburgh, and the Fighting Irish with a big 40-16 lead at the half. Man, you haven't seen too many of those. A good defensive and offensive effort by Notre Dame. 8:46 left to go in the first quarter between number 15 Oklahoma and Kansas. Just a 3-2 lead for Oklahoma in that game. Number 21 taking on number 18 of Colorado, taking on Arizona. A 31-20 lead for Arizona over Colorado. Florida State, number 24 in the nation, taking on Georgia Tech with 9:55 left to go in the third quarter. They're up by 9. A couple of other games that are going to be taking place, and one that already took place is number 2 Indiana gets a win over Purdue, the Battle of Indiana. You can even call this one the Battle of Indiana as well, Evansville and Valparaiso. But Indiana, number 2, winning over Purdue 83-60, a 23-point win for the Hoosiers. A couple of other games taking place at 3 o'clock will be number 1 South Carolina taking on Ole Miss. Number 11 Virginia Tech taking on NC State. Number 17 Texas at home taking on West Virginia. Number 25 Southern Carolina traveling to Southern California traveling to California. The Battle of California as well in that competition. And a later start at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Number 16, UCLA, is going to be taking on number 3, Stanford. A primetime action game for that competition. Looking around to the Valley, this game, if you just joined us here, Valparaiso is leading by 2 at the half, 35-33 over Evansville. looking into the other games in the Valley, a final score offered up after a game started at noon. UIC beating Indiana State 56-50. Indiana State continues to lose in tight matchups, especially at home, as UIC had just lost to Evansville in the previous game. They're back out of their winning ways to bring them 7-9 overall in the Valley. A game currently in action, Belmont taking on Missouri State. That game has not yet been updated, as it still shows it's in the first quarter, standing at the same time as this competition. I'll be sure to try to get you the score for that game, as it is not presented to me up front here. And at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, a very good competition between Murray State and Southern Illinois, two teams that are both sitting at 6-9 in the Valley this season. So it could be a very good game in that aspect as well. As we're going to look up the Missouri State Bears women's basketball score for you to be able to give you some of the Valley scores here in our halftime show. It's still showing that it's a 4-2 score. Could be a possible technical issue on the side of Missouri State in that aspect of the game. So we'll try to be able to give you the score and the final score of that competition, as it is not presented to us here at our IBW halftime show so far in this game. As looking into it, it looks like it is probably just a technical error, as I'm trying to even get into the live stats element on the website of Missouri State. It could be just a technical issue on Missouri State's end, and it is. It still shows it's a 4-2 score in the first quarter, as it did, well, early in the first quarter of this competition. Thank you for joining us here on our IBEW halftime show. Every halftime show here on WVUR 95.1 FM is brought to you by IBEW and the Powering America team of Northwest Indiana, as we're about to get back in action here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse on the campus of Evansville University. Evansville already taking the floor here, as Kennedy Mason Stuyvesant is going to inbound the basketball at the center line right in front of me, near baseline. Near sideline. Evansville looking to get back within this game. They're only within 2 of Valparaiso, and it's just been steady single-digit number leads for the Beacons so far in this game. Evansville had a lead for just a second early in the first quarter. They're looking to take it back here in the third, as we've begun action here, and the second half is underway. Abby Fight offers up a floater mid-range, falls through for Abby Fight. Put it at a tie game, 35-all here in the third. Saunders comes down the floor with speed, challenged by Mason Stuyvesant the entire length of the court. Saunders kicks to Sims to the left wing, goes right back to Dunson with a handoff to Saunders at the top of the key. Saunders finds an open look, gets double teamed down low at the right block, a kick out, swing out, now contained by Dunson. A deep three-pointer by Maya Dunson falls flat off of the hand, and a rebound hauled in by Griffin for the Purple Aces. She's coming down the floor, stops, hands it off to Newman in between the circles. Newman runs towards the right side with a kick to Mason Stuyvesant. She looks inside for Fight, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Fight as she extended out the arm. Beautiful job by Elise Pitts to take the charge. I'll be making sure that Elise Pitts knows that she took a charge off of that one. I'm trying to keep track of charges. In practice yesterday, they were talking to Valparaiso SID Aaron Levitt, asking him, how many charges have I taken this season? And he goes, well, I can tell you how many offensive fouls you've been able to take this season, but we don't limit charges. So an interesting stat line that the MLB kind of goes with everything. Basketball kind of the opposite end. Maybe we want to incorporate charging into this. Saunders from downtown rolls around the iron. That's no good from the left wing. And a rebound hauled in by Abby Fight for the Purple Aces. Fight comes down the floor, loses the basketball after it goes off the hand of Emma Teka. Got a hand in there for just a second. She tried to get it. Just wasn't able to grab that basketball in time before it goes out of bounds. 8:36 left to go here in the third quarter, 35-all. Evansville to inbound with Mason Stuyvesant on the far side of the floor, the sideline, right in front of the bench are the Purple Aces. Griffin at the left wing looks to Fight at the 15-foot marker, offers up a high Yarker off the glass, up and in. Gives Evansville their first lead here in over 2 quarters. Pitts for Valparaiso looking to answer back after Abby Fight has had pretty much almost 2 uncontested attempts. out of the 2 out of the 3 for fight. A kick out for Teka. This one's from Iowa. Breaks off the back of the rim just a bit too strong. Goes out of bounds to the near sideline. Evansville is going to take over with the basketball here. Lots of opportunities offered up by the Purple Aces so far. Really the majority of them because of Abby Fine. Her athleticism down low has just been stellar in this competition this afternoon. Griffin contains with a kick to fight. Easy look, wide open down low is Toman Sova. Barry Evans wanting a 3-second lane violation. She's not going to get it. Didn't really think she was there for that long either myself. Dunson with a kick to Teka in the lower circle, rolls around and falls through. Beacons now just down by 2. Newman kicks, finds fight at the top of the key. Hands it off to Mason Stuyvesant with a handoff to Griffin. Swings it near side, 4-3 is fight, misses the attempt. A rebound hauled in down low by Toman Sova, and a missed attempt by the redshirt junior as well. Saunders comes down the floor, stops, offers up a shot, and that's no good. Griffin able to haul a rebound for the Purple Aces. Good look for Allie Saunders, just a bit too contested down low in the left block. Mason Stuyvesant dribbles, goes over towards the far side, now contains at the right wing. Looks inside, finds Toman Sova with the up and in. Valparaiso really couldn't match up down low with Toman Sova. They just weren't able to really have the height to match up against her. She's sitting at 6'3". One of the taller defenders down low was Olivia Sims at just 5'9". Dunson looks inside for Teka, misses the left-hand opportunity. Teka trying to come down the floor with Mason Stuyvesant as she spins, and Mason Stuyvesant now contains in between the circles with 6:16 left to go here in the third quarter. Newman looks down low to Toman Sova, looks near side in the corner for Griffin. Nothing but net for Anaya Griffin, which forces Mary Evans to take a team timeout. What a comeback here after the halftime period for Evansville. 44-37, Purple Aces lead as we're going to take a media timeout. We'll see you back here in 90 seconds from Van Wagner. This is a Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
The postseason starts here. The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship takes the court at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, March 9th through 12th in Moline. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Hoops in the Heartland, presented by Great Southern Bank and Grinnell Mutual Insurance. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233. Or visit mbcquadcities.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com. You're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
No matter the job at hand, Gastonia Tractor has the John Deere equipment with the power to take it on. Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, Gastonia Tractor has the mowers, tractors, and implements you need. Find a location near you at castrac.com. Evansville off to a hot start here in the third quarter of action. They're shooting 5 of 7 from the field, 71.4% overall here for the Purple Aces in this third quarter. They're 1 of 2 from 3, and really they've offered up some good opportunities. Valpo, they haven't been able to make any shots, and a lot of the reason is because Evansville's put up a lot of pressure down low in the RA to really retract Valparaiso from doing anything on the offensive end. Valpo is just 1 of 6 from the field, shooting 16.7%, and they're 0 of 3 to start off this third quarter here. Valpo's going to have to get off to a better shooting streak if they want to be able to stay within this game against the Purple Aces. 6:08 left to go after Mary Evans took a timeout for her squad. Valpo has 2 timeouts left. Evansville with just 4 timeouts left on the opposite end. Both teams finally take the floor here after quite some time in the media break, as Olivia Brown is to inbound for Valparaiso. We finally get things back up and running here in the Meeks Family Fieldhouse as Brown gets the inbound far baseline to Saunders. Dribbles on the court, passes the timeline. Valparaiso from left to right, Evansville from right to left. Dunson with a kick to Sims at the far arc. Kicks to Brown in the far corner. This one's for 3. Bang! Olivia Brown knocks that one down. 4-point lead here for Evansville. Newman with a kick near side to Griffin. Griffin looks, finds fight at the top of the key, swings it out to Newman at the right wing. She tries driving it, offers up a shot. That's no good. Rebound by Tolman. Sova is also no good with the putback. And a rebound hauled in by Elise Pitts for Valparaiso. Pitts coming down the floor with speed. Hand off to Saunders. Goes left, right back to Pitts. Pitts scans the inside, holds, finds Brown at the top of the key. Brown for the Beacons. Goes to tackle, but an offensive foul is going to be called on Allie Saunders. That'll be her third. And the Beacons first of this quarter.
Personal. Teams first this quarter. Valparaiso substitution.
They actually have Saunders listed for 4 fouls here.
11, Saunders.
That's my fault in terms of keeping track of the foul totals. Believe she had 3 going in to the half, and I just forgot to make a mark down on my spot chart. 5 minutes left to go here as Newman looks inside for Fight. Fight kicks back out to Newman at the left wing. Kick out Griffin for 3, rolls around, falls through. It's the bottom of the net. A 7-point lead here for the Purple Aces. Pitts with the basketball, kick to Brown. Brown in between the circles, goes right back to Pitts at the top of the key, who hands it off to Dunson on the right side. Dunson scans, finds Ernest, right wing. Ernest looks, right corner to Brown. Brown swings it back to Ernest, who skips it over to Teka. A swing back to Dunson, who with the reverse hand layup is no good. Dunson with a good look opportunity, just not able to finish down low. And a travel called on Evansville on Anaya Griffin. That's going to result in a turnover and immediate timeout. Valparaiso with a much-needed timeout here as they're down by 7. They're going to have to look for an answer to stay within this game against Evansville. We're going to take a 90-second break, so we'll see you back here then. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Hey, you! Don't do it! Don't take that job when you can have a career.
I'd love a career, but where?
At First Source Bank, we offer a variety of fulfilling career opportunities, schedule flexibility, good pay and benefits, educational opportunities for personal growth, and a chance to work with amazing people just like yourself. Join us.
Learn more at firstsource.com/careers. That's the number one stsource.com. An equal opportunity employer. Male, female, disabled, veteran.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhaven in Valparaiso and online at wingsetc.com.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone & Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone & Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Before you make the trip to Moline for the 2023 MVC Women's Basketball Tournament, be sure to download the Hoops in the Heartland app presented by Great Southern Bank. Get all the information you need to know about the tournament schedule, hotel accommodations, and other fun events during the tournament. Log on to MVCQuadCities.com or head to the App Store to download the Hoops in the Heartland app. We are back here in the Meeks Family Fieldhouse on the campus of Evansville University for some MVC women's basketball action between Valparaiso and Evansville. Looking at some of the stats so far in terms of the stat lines, Valparaiso just 2 made shots here so far in the third quarter. Evansville on the opposite end with 6. That's what's really been able to get them back in the lead here as they're shooting 60% from the floor. Valparaiso just at 25 to start this third quarter. They're playing much better coming into halftime than they have coming out of it. Hopefully that media timeout gave them a boost that they need here to come back within this game. If you're just joining us here, 47-40, Evansville leads over the Beacons. Valpo had a lead by 2 at the half. They've only scored 4 points in this third quarter. Ernest at the point, swings it to Dunson. Dunson offers up a 3, knocks it in! Maya Dunson for 3. Dunson with a good look, offers up her first 3-point attempt here of the game and knocks in her first 3 of the game. A kick to fight for the Purple Aces, goes right back to Morgan at the right wing. Tries looking inside for Hudson. Hudson spins, offers up a shot, falls through for Josie Hudson. Valpo to inbound here once again. A 3-2 press offered up by the Purple Aces. Tries to go to Pitts. Pitts almost loses the basketball for a second as Brown just passed over a little bit too high over Elise Pitts. Brown at the top of the key, swings it left side to Dunson. Contained now by Ernest after the handoff by Dunson. Skips it near side to Brown, puts up a pump fake with a drive and attempt, blocked away by the Purple Aces. Evansville with the basketball, charging down the floor is Abby Fight with a handoff to Hudson. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Ellie Morgan. Good defense by Elise Pitts. 3:03 left to go here in the third quarter. Pitts inbound for the Beacons on the near sidelines. Throws into Brown. 3 minutes left to go here. 7 minutes down in the third quarter. Brown with the handoff to Pitts at the left wing. Pitts tries driving in. Easy left-hander. The up and in for Elise Pitts. Anaya Griffin now with the basketball for the Purple Aces. With a kick out to Hudson. A ring around to Mason Stuyvesant for Evansville. Kick back out to Morgan, left wing. Morgan with the driving attempt. Off the glass is no good. Ernest able to snag up a rebound for Valparaiso. Comes down the floor with momentum. Kick out. Dunson in the corner. Splash! Maya Dunson knocks it in for 3. Dunson 2 of 2 in the last 3-point attempts. Puts Valpo within 1. 49-48. The media timeout was what Valpo needed. fight, looks down low for Griffin. Almost a wide open look after the screen up top. Good roll down and low by Anaya Griffin. 2 minutes left to go here for the Beacons in the third quarter. They're currently down by 3. Hand off to Ernest. Top of the key contained by Brown. Brown signals over to Dunson. Goes over to the left side. Underhanded to Teka for 3. Just a bit short for Emma Teka. Rebound hauled in by Mason Stuyvesant for the Purple Aces. Mason Stuyvesant goes towards the near side of the sidelines. Goes back over cross court. Hands off to Griffin in the corner. Griffin loses control of the basketball. A one-on-one opportunity. Brown goes up with the layup and the end one. Olivia Brown finishes. Strong for Olivia Brown. She could tie things up here with the free throw attempt at the line. Anna Newman checking into the game, as well as Barbara Tomansova for the Purple Aces. Brown looks and cannot finish off the three-point play. Good attempt, however, by Olivia Brown to finish strong and able to get Valpo back within 1. Griffin looks in the interior, and a foul called, the reach-in by Jada Johnson on the Beacons. That'll be her second. Valparaiso's second of the quarter.
Second personal, team second.
Foul's called on the floor, so Evansville will inbound at the far baseline. Minute 12 left to go with the third. Inbound goes to Tomansova. Far corner. She signals over, tries looking inside. Dribbles out, kick out, Mason Stuyvesant top of the key. Looks, finds Newman at the right wing. She goes coast to coast, up, and finally falls through as she comes down to the floor. Valparaiso with the basketball. Pitts, kick out, Brown from downtown. Nothing but nets! Olivia Brown knocks down the 3. We got a tie game. 40 seconds left to go here in the third. Newman hands it off to Griffin. Griffin at the point, spins from 15 foot, makes it in, puts it back at a 2-point lead. Just back and forth action here after the last media timeout. Couldn't ask for any better basketball. Valpo inbounds, finds Ernest. A kick back to Brown as Brown now crosses the timeline. Throws it to Pitts, she contains, shot clock turned off. 13 seconds left on the game clock. Pitts signals over, now 8 on the game clock. 6, now 5, contained by Brown. Brown tries to drive it down the middle, 3 on the game clock, offers up a shot, and an offensive foul with the charge taken by Anna Newman. As Brown just extended the arm, gets her second foul and the team's third. 2 seconds exactly remain here for the Purple Aces. Valpo just settling back. They're just going to let Evansville do what they want here. Now pressing up a little bit are the Beacons. Mason Stuyvesant offers up a last-second shot. Just hits the hardwood and goes out of bounds to end the third quarter of action. 2-point lead here for the Purple Aces to end the third as we head to the fourth quarter. We've got a game for you here, folks. 2 teams fighting here in action. We're going to be right back here after this 2-minute timeout from Van Wagner. This is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Heinold and Feller Tire and Lawn Equipment strive to exemplify the true meaning of the words trust, courtesy, and honesty. In fact, many of our customers say we've done a pretty good job of it. Since 1958, we've been providing auto repair and full-service tire sales to Porter County, Indiana. Come visit us at our Valparaiso or La Crosse locations, or check us out at heinold-feller.com. We look forward to many more years of providing you excellent service, because at our Heinold and Feller, your family matters to ours.
One meal everyone in your family can get on board with? It's Culver's. You may know us for our famous butter burgers, cooked to order for that great signature steak taste, but we're also known for our whole white meat chicken tenders and juicy chicken sandwiches, and our melty Wisconsin cheese curds, and our hand-battered North Atlantic cod.
At Culver's, we believe more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. Welcome to Delicious.
The postseason starts here. The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship takes the court at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, March 9th through 12th in Moline. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Hoops in the Heartland, presented by Great Southern Bank and Grinnell Mutual Insurance. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233. Or visit MVCQuadCities.com.
There's no need to fear. The First Source Bank mobile app is here. As fast as a mobile deposit. Built to pay bills instantaneously. Powered to balance budgets. And with a simple tap, a call is placed for that personal touch. All this power is disguised as a mild-mannered app on your phone, ready to fight for your financial freedom.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
The Missouri Valley Conference is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the passage of Title IX legislation. Throughout the academic year, the Valley is honoring pioneers from league institutions who paved the way for current and future student athletes. To learn more about the conference's Title IX recognition plans, visit NBCSports.com/OneValley. I'm Zach Collins bringing you the action here at the Meek Family Fieldhouse between Valparaiso and Evansville. Evansville just with a 2-point lead in the last media timeout. They were up by 7. Valpo's really been able to make an impact in this game, but Evansville not backing down on the floor as they continue to make a lot of really well-contested shots by Valpo. They've just fallen through for the Purple Aces early here, and really it's just because of the likes down low. We're seeing even Anna Newman play a really good defensive game, especially as she just took the last charge attempt by Valparaiso on Brown to end the fourth quarter of action. Valpo was looking to really try to offer up an inside look, but instead offers up an inside foul on Brown. Only player currently in foul trouble for Valparaiso is Allie Saunders. She's got 4 fouls and currently is on the bench for the Beacons. Looking to the Purple Aces, the only player in a little bit of foul trouble would be number 14, Abby Fight, with 3 fouls here in this competition for Evansville. The officials talking to the scorers table on the far side of the floor. Quite long breaks here this afternoon here at Evansville. Usually we take a 90-second break and you get about 30, 45 seconds to talk to you guys kind of about the game, kind of break things down here. This is kind of a different aspect in this competition. If I took a 90-second break, I'd be talking forever. And man, you get tired of hearing my voice for quite some time. But regardless, I'm the play-by-play announcer, the studio producer, and the color commentator here for this competition tonight. If you'd like to check out the post-game interview from last game, you can check out my Instagram page at Broadcaster Z Collins. That's Broadcaster Z Collins to be able to listen to that element of the competition. For Mary Evans' post-game show against Indiana State, probably one of the more personal post-game shows I've done with Mary Evans. Been able to kind of learn about her coaching theory, her coaching style here, traveling on the road with her team, and kind of how she expects her team to play in games and in practice as well. Officials still looking at the DV Sport replay on the far side of the floor. Still kind of waiting as one official is explaining to Mary Evans, the other official is explaining to Robin Sher-Wells on the opposite side of the floor. I don't know what they specifically would be looking at here. I'm looking to Valparaiso SID Aaron Levitt, and he's just kind of looking at me with the blank face of he doesn't know what's going on either. So we'll see what they review here as we're waiting quite some time to get back into action. Of course, following this competition will be our LBJI postgame show, which is brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. So make sure to tune in for that one, as we'll be talking to head coach of the Beacons, Mary Evans, on our postgame show and breaking down the entirety of this game as well. So lots still to come here in this game as the officials are still looking at lots of footage as they're now talking to the head scorer at the scorer's table. Make sure that we can get this information correct. Officials still looking things over, but one thing to look at is a new phrase that Jada Johnston introduced me to is the toolbox. So almost like when a player makes a very athletic play on the floor, makes an impressive shot, like, man, she grabbed that one out of her toolbox or something along those lines. It's a phrase that really is almost uncommon. The official explaining things over to the ESPN announcers. I'm probably not going to get an explanation, but no score changing. Nothing changing anywhere else from what I see on my end. So we're just going to get right back into action here. Jada Johnson for the Beacons. Valpo's going from left to right. Evansville from right to left. Ernest with the basketball. Kick out to Brown. Swings it near side to Pitts. Contains in. Drive in. Right hand falls through for Elise Pitts. Able to knock that down shot with ease. Purple Aces with the basketball here as Anaya Griffin tries looking inside. Touch away by Ernest. Goes out of bounds just for a second. Is Griffin, but the ball stays inbounds as she's able to touch that one. Valpo will pick that one up. Brown looks inside for Ernest at the low left block. A spin move in the lane. Falls through for Leah Ernest. Valpo now with a 2-point lead. A 4-0 run for the Beacons. Now 7 of their last 8. Mason Stuyvesant contains in, looks, tries finding fight, and a foul is going to be called on Elise Pitts. That'll be Pitts' third, and the team's first here on the fourth quarter.
Third personal. Team's first this quarter.
Elise Pitts had some good opportunity to be able to try to strip away that basketball, but getting a little bit too much of a hand in there. You're going to get the reaching called all day as Fight offers up a three, misses that attempt in the near corner. Pitts able to haul on a rebound. She scans down the floor, talking to Newman as a little bit of back talk between the two as they're coming down the floor here. Ernest at the top of the key. Comes over with the right foot, goes to the right side. Now at the right block contains, spins out, finds Brown at the near wing. Brown tries driving in, offers up a shot for the and one! Olivia Brown, another and one opportunity. Comes to the charity stripe with a smile on her face as Valpo now up by 4. 8:36 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Olivia Brown so far here in this competition, 2 of 3 from the charity stripe, make that 3 of 4 as Valpo now has a 5-point lead. Evansville looking for an answer back as they're scoreless over the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds of action. Anaya Griffin, kick over to Newman, now in between the circles as Griffin was at the left wing. Newman back to Griffin at the left wing, offers up a three-pointer. That's no good. Rebound by Mason Stuyvesant down low. Able to haul that one in. Tries to offer up a shot, gets it stripped away. Pitts able to pick up the basketball. Ernest coming down the floor for the Beacons with a lot of momentum. Stops, kicks out. Pitts, bump fake, left wing. Now kicks near side to Teka. The momentum now setting up and establishing a play here for Valparaiso. A swing from Johnston to Brown. Now goes to Ernest in the far corner. Offers up a three. That's just short. Touches the front of the rim and a rebound offered up by Anaya Griffin. 7:45 left to go. Inside pass. Look to fight for Evansville. She misses the attempt with the left hand on the left side. Goes out of bounds. Last touch. Look to be off of the hand of Jada Johnston for the Beacons. Purple Aces are going to inbound on the near baseline with 7:42 left to go. Shot clock does reset here. Mason Stuyvesant rings it around to Griffin. Tries looking inside for fight in the lane. Offers up a shot. That's no good. However, a foul is going to be called on the floor. It was after the shot. It's going to be a number 22, Leah Ernest. Looked like she had just a bit of a push-off on the attempt down low.
First personal, team second.
Gets a foul called regardless. As the inbound on the far side baseline goes into Newman. Newman looks inside to fight at the right block. It's double teamed down low. Kicks near side. Mason Stuyvesant from downtown. Misses the shot attempt. Just a bit too strong. And a foul is going to be called on the floor. It'll be on Valparaiso. Maya Dunson will check in here for the Beacons. Couldn't see the official's hand on the time. It'll be on number 22 again, Leah Ernest.
Team's third.
It's her second and the team's third. Newman to inbound here after a handoff goes to Toman Sova. Right back to Newman. Newman bounce pass at the top of the key to Griffin. Misses the attempt for three. Newman able to haul a rebound with the up and in with the putback for Anna Newman. Now just a three-point game here in the fourth quarter. Pitts coming down the floor for the Beacons. Stops after a roll. I mean, it was really just a 100-meter dash sprint between her and Mason Stuyvesant coming down the floor. A kick to Dunson at the far wing. Puts up a pump fake, drives in, baseline, offers up a shot, and a foul is going to be called. Good job by Maya Dunson as she is driving down low. Evansville being called for the foul here. It'll be on number 14, Abby Fight, her fourth, and Evansville's third. After Fight's foul, Josie Hudson is going to check in for the senior. 6:56 left to go. Dunson now at the foul line for the Beacons. Currently, Maya Dunson has not made a free throw yet in this competition. She's able to dish in the first. It listed her not shooting free throws yet, but she did have two already in this game as she makes them both. (62-57) lead here for Valparaiso. A handoff to Tomansova with a kick to Hudson. Swings it near side to Newman. Kicks to Griffin, almost traveling the attempt. Finally finds Hudson and a kick out and the offensive charge. Josie Hudson drives in as Dunson fell to the floor. I'll make sure to mark that down for you, Maya Dunson. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Purple Aces here with 6:38 left to go. It'll be a media timeout, so of course we'll take it with them. Valparaiso leads 62-57 in the fourth quarter, 6:38 left to go. We're going to take a media timeout. See you back here in 2 minutes on the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at Ticketsmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on Ticketsmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. Ticketsmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. Ticketsmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Why is Culver's such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
When you need trusted electrical professionals, who do you turn to? Powering America's team of NECA and IBEW contractors can help. All of our electricians have 10,000 hours of on-the-job and classroom training to ensure the safety of your home or business electrical system. Licensed, bonded, and insured, drug-tested, and background checked. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org for a complete list of contractors, experts in residential, commercial, industrial, voice, data, video, and renewable energy projects. Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Safely powering Northwest Indiana.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor, as he does everything to make
my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere.
Experience all that John Deere has to offer at Castonia Tractor. Visit us online at castrac.com, castrac.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Today's broadcast of Valpo Women's Basketball is brought to you by Calumet Brewing and Bud Light. It's for the fans. Valpo fans currently behind me here at Evansville a big support for Allie Saunders. She does have 4 fouls, however, in this game. She is still on the bench. Allie Saunders, a native out of DePaul, Indiana, not too far here from Evansville, Indiana, as there's quite a big support for Valparaiso right behind me here in one of the smaller facilities in the Valley. This facility not even able to hold over 1,900 people. As Mary Evans was pointing to one of the communicator at the scorer's table to try to tell him, hey, he's not ready for you yet, officials, because their team was just still standing over there waiting for him to be able to give them the official cue. Pitts with a handoff to Tech at the right wing. Goes to Dunson to the left side at the top of the key. Dunson looks, finds Ernest left wing. Ernest looks, pump fake, drives in, kick out. Brown gets it to Dunson on the near side. Dunson swings it, finds Brown, and a travel is going to be called on Olivia Brown. A turnover for the Beacons here to start off things in the fourth quarter after the media timeouts. We'll have no breaks for you here for the remainder of this competition, as 6 minutes, 10 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. A 62-57 Valparaiso lead. Mason Stuyvesant with a kick to Newman. Newman at the top of the key. Swings it back out to Mason Stuyvesant with a handoff to Hudson. Hudson dribbles out, kicks back to Newman. Newman goes at the perimeter. Throws right back to Mason Stuyvesant. Receives the screen, rolls off of it, finds an open lane upside, offers up a shot. That's no good. And Elise Pitts able to haul in a rebound for Valparaiso. Pitts comes down the floor with a kick to Dunson near wing. Dunson swings it back to Pitts. Pitts scans, looks, finds Brown on the left side. Skips it over to Dunson, brings it right back over to Brown. Brown continues in, stops at the left block, and travels. She did travel down low, no doubt about that. Unhappy is Olivia Brown, but really, that's something you have to call as Abby Fike checks into the game for the Purple Aces. Abby Fike in this competition has really put up a fight, if you want to put it in that way. 17 points for the senior as Newman drives in for the Purple Aces with the floater. Teardrops that one in. Just what a finger roll by Anna Newman, reaching into her toolbox and finding that she could utilize the open lane. Ernest, open look, three-pointer, splash, Leah Ernest. 65-59, 6-point lead with 4:50 in the fourth. What a game we've got for you here, folks. Newman signals over the left hand, goes to the left side, right back to Newman. From a Purple Ace on Mason Stuyvesant. Newman looks down low to fight. Kick back to Newman in between the circles. 8 on the shot clock here as Griffin contains. And a takeaway here for the Beacons. It'll be picked up by Tecca. Ernest comes down the floor, stops and rolls around to set up a play for Valparaiso. Signals off Brown, Dunson, and Ernest, both in between the circles as she throws to Dunson. Dunson contains, rolls to the left side with a kick to Brown. Brown at the left wing, looks, scans, finds Tech at the top of the key. Tecca rolls off a Dunson screen, goes down low baseline. Kicks to Ernest, just 2 on the shot clock. Ernest is going to have to offer up a shot, puts it up. That's no good by Leah Ernest. And a foul is going to be called after Newman hauls in a rebound. Pitts able to get the foul. Elise Pitts now with 4 fouls here. Team's 4th of this game. Under 4 left to go in this competition. A 6-point lead for Valparaiso in the fourth. Getting a little bit of smack talk from Elise Pitts and Anna Newman here in this competition. Just both really competing with a lot of energy here in this competition this afternoon. Newman drives, foul called. It's going to be on Valparaiso. Newman will go to the foul line to shoot 2. As Tecca gets her 2nd, and the team gets the 5th. Newman so far in this competition, listen on the stats, a perfect 4 of 4, which is correct so far for Anna Newman. So far this season, Newman also 70% on the season as she makes in the first. Last season, a little bit better, sitting at 78%. Averages 6.5 points per game. In this game, getting 11. As she makes them both at the foul line, Allie Saunders, the Indiana native, out of DePaul, Indiana, checks in here with quite a big fan base right behind me at the bench. Inbound goes to Saunders. She continues down the floor. Now crosses the timeline with 3:40 left to go in the fourth. A kick to Brown in between the circles. She tries driving. Looks, stops at the left elbow with a kick out to Saunders. Saunders gets a signal from Evans. Goes towards the near side. Valpo dishing some time off the clock with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Bounce pass goes to Brown, top of the key. Tries driving, kick out to Ernest, puts up a pump fake, just 2 left on the shot clock. Up and in for Leah Ernest at the attempt as she's jumping midair, puts it up with a one-hander. That's really a one-timer of a hockey reference. But answering right back is Abby Fight as she drains a 3. A 3-point lead here for Valparaiso. Under 3 left to go. Brown at the right wing for Valpo. Looks inside, then kicks outside to Dunson. Dunson goes low baseline, left block with a bounce pass out to Saunders. Saunders looking, right block spins in the lane. That's no good by Saunders. Rebound hauled in by Fight. 3-point lead here for Valparaiso. 2:30 left to go in this game as Newman's in between the circles. Throws it near side of Morgan, skips it right back to Newman as she goes to the right wing. Looks down low to Fight, offers up a shot, that's no good. Ernest able to haul in a rebound for Valparaiso. Saunders taking her time. Mary Evans signals to Allie Saunders as she just crosses the timeline. Bounce passes to Brown. Brown looks right back to Saunders. Near side, puts up a pump fake, offers up a shot. That's no good, falls to the floor. She wanted a foul. She's not going to get it. Newman able to get the rebound and comes down the floor with speed. A kick out, finds Fight. This one's from downtown and no good. Olivia Brown able to get in a rebound. 1:45 left to go here on the fourth quarter. Saunders crosses the timeline. 1:35 left to go. She's at the top of the key. Bounce pass to Brown to the left wing. Skips it back to Saunders. Saunders looks, gets a screen by Dunson. Rolls off the screen left side, now to left elbow. Tries going in the lane, offers up a shot, gets fouled in the attempt. And Saunders will go to the charity stripe for a pair. 1:19 left to go. Foul is going to be called on the Purple Aces, number 1, Anna Newman. Her first of this competition and the team's 4th of the fourth quarter.
Take your part. Yes, checking in for the shooter, who is 11.
Lee Spitz is going to check in, as you probably just heard the PA announcer say over the loudspeakers. As Saunders, the perfect 2-2 free throw shooter, goes to the line, makes the first. The best free throw shooter here for the Beacons in this scenario is Saunders, shooting 83% from the free throw line this season. Saunders offers up the second and makes them both. Puts Valpo a 5-point lead with 1:19 left to go here.
Along with 33, Olivia Sims checking out.
Valpo with only 1 timeout remaining. Evansville with 3 here in this game with 1:19 left to go. Newman picks up a rolling basketball as it's across the timeline, offers up a 3, just short. Rebound hauled in by Tolensova. And a foul is going to be called on Valparaiso. The reaching from the back is going to be on Elise Pitts. Pitts fouls out of this competition here with 5. It's also a team 5th foul as well, as Olivia Brown, who just checked out, checks in for Sims. Checking in for Elise Pitts is number 1, Emma Teka for Valparaiso. Dudson trying to explain with the official on what she saw on her side. Official ends up telling her what she thought. They're now talking with Tomensova and Dunson. Looks like a little bit of a confrontation between the two is happening. Minute 12 left to go. As Tomansova, the 63% free throw shooter, makes the first. Tomansova looking for the second here, and she makes them both. Perfect in this game so far, as Ernest takes the basketball and a foul immediately called after the inbound goes to Saunders. Foul ends up being called on Ellie Morgan.
Evansville, 11. Ellie Morgan.
Be her third and the team's fifth. Ernest comes over to the stands on the near side right behind me, pumps up the Valpo crowd as Saunders goes to the line to shoot two.
We do have a operational substitution.
Olive Van Welden will check into the game for the Beacons. She'll go in for Olivia Brown.
Replacing to Brown.
Saunders with two crucial free throws here in this game. With a minute 12 left to go. She makes the first. Saunders looking up to offer up the second. Splits the pair, but so puts Valpo on a 4-point lead. It's a two-score game. Newman at the top of the key, rolls to the right side, dribbles in between her legs, looks down low to Tomansova, ball knocked out, and somehow stays in. Somehow Mason Stuyvesant able to keep it in. 55 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Saunders with the basketball for the Beacons in between the circles. Shot clock at 18 seconds. Shot clock and game clock separated by quite some time. Saunders with the bounce pass to Ernest, 7 on the shot clock. She's at the top of the key. Goes down low, offers up a shot, up and in for Leah Ernest! That's gonna force the Purple Aces to take a timeout. That's the team's third. They have 2 remaining here in this game with 31.5 seconds left to go.
Timeout. 30-second timeout. Evansville advances the ball past the timeline opposite fifth side.
They're signaling over at the Valpo bench to the table over here. I'm at the opposite end of the scorers table. They're signaling over for just a second, making sure that everything was corrected. Seems to be corrected to the officials and to me. 31.5 seconds left to go. 72-66 lead here for Valpo. Man, what a game we've got for you here this afternoon. We expected it to be a good one. The RPI not predicting it to be one of the better ones overall, as they had Evansville winning this game 78-56. The over-under 134. In this game, currently it's at 138, so if you bet the over, you've got it. Evansville's going to be taking the ball inbounds at the near sidelines. It's going to be Abby Fight who gets it into Newman. Newman continues over, rolls to the right side, goes down and gets a foul call. Mary Evans falls to the ground in disbelief by the official at the baseline. That's the first time I think I've actually ever seen such disbelief out of Mary Evans. I've seen a lot out of coaches, especially when you follow a coach throughout their season. I'm a coach myself. I'll react to anything. And she definitely reacts to that one there on the last attempt. Foul's going to be called on Leah Ernest. That's her third. After the free throw attempt is knocked down, 72-67, Valpo leads. Newman makes them both. 4-point competition as Brown will check in here for Ella Van Welden. Ernest, Saunders, Teka, and Dunston all staying in the competition here. Valpo inbounds right to Saunders, the best player to inbound in this scenario. 25.6 seconds left to go here. Saunders will head to the free throw line of this competition. She's only missed one so far here this afternoon. If Valpo wins this game here this afternoon, it'll actually be the Beacons' first time where they've won 3 straight here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse as Saunders makes in the first. And in the history of Valpo basketball, they'd be able to pull in a big win here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse as Saunders makes them both. A 6-point lead here for Valpo with 25.6 seconds left to go. Still a 2-score game. Evansville takes their 4th timeout. They're now left with just 1 timeout in this competition. This also, for the Beacons, will be the first time where they win 2 straight since last season when Valparaiso took on Evansville and Indiana State in the same series, both games away, and they won both of those games. They have not won 2 straight games so far yet this entire season. Valparaiso, with also a 2-9 away record, would bring Evansville's 6-5 home record to 6-6. They'd just be 500 here at home, which would be a big difference for the Purple Aces this season. After that timeout, they are going to inbound with Mason Stuyvesant in the near sideline. Official gets it to Stuyvesant, kicks it into Newman. Newman in the left wing goes to fight at the top of the key. She looks, kicks to Griffin, right wing, deep 3-pointer. Just a bit too strong as it goes off the back of the iron. The basketball goes out of bounds. Both officials point, look, and they're going to review it as 2 officials looked at one another. The top official in her zone making the call. The other official not involved in the play. Calls a review immediately after the 2 look at one another with 14.5 seconds left to go. This is a very crucial call in this game. Going to kind of look and see if they're going to put it up on the big screen they've got on the left side wall over there. Doesn't look like they will, but the officials going over to the scorer's table to review this call. There's a good angle of the camera towards the left side of the baseline down low. That's probably going to be one of the cameras that they look at here when reviewing this call. It does have to be, you have to be able to see exactly what's happening. It must not be challenged in any way, shape, or form. If officials go to look at it, they must contain that yes, that is the official call that they're going to make. Otherwise, the call that it is Evansville's ball will come into play here once the officials review this call. They're still looking over at the DMV Sport replay booth. Of course, following this competition will be the LBJI postgame show. We'll talk to Mary Evans on the LBJI postgame show live right here on WVR 95.1 FM, exclusively on YouTube here in this broadcast. It'll also be an interesting look. We'll have to do some switching around with some of the technology to be able to get Mary Evans' headset on air to sound perfect and crisp for those viewers at home. Officials still over at the replay table. One official switched out, the other switched in to be able to review the call here.
Resetting the game clock to 14 seconds and 8/10. After video review, call on the court has been changed.
They're also going to, if you just heard the PA announcer, we've got a PA announcer who not only is announcing, he's running the DV Sport. What a job he's been doing here so far this afternoon. Big kudos to him. Fortunately, I do not have his name, but big kudos to Evansville and him. As the call is overturned, Valparaiso winning the call. Inbound goes to Brown. Clock was reset to 14.8, just 0.8 seconds coming off of the game clock. Brown is going to go down to shoot 2 from the charity stripe. Olivia Brown in this game, she's got 16 points. She had 16 in the last game against Indiana State. She's 3 of 4 from the charity stripe in this competition. With 14 seconds left to go, 6 points lead for Valpo. Brown misses the first. If Brown makes the second here, it could be a game changer. And she misses them both.
Timeout. Called by Evansville.
Evansville is going to take a timeout. That'll be the team's 5th and final timeout here of this competition.
60-second timeout.
And it will be a 1-minute timeout, and we'll stick with it here with 12.9 seconds left to go here in this competition. Still a lot of action to take place here at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse. And I mean, what a game it's been so far. We've seen a lot of action here that really you wouldn't predict anywhere else in Valley play. Let's actually take a look at some of the Valley scores from around the league. The score currently, Belmont up top, Missouri State 40-28 in the third quarter with 9:28 left to go. Game must have started later than it was scheduled to, because it was scheduled for a 1 o'clock start. And really, we didn't get that for quite some time here. And if you didn't join us on our pregame show or halftime show, UIC won over Indiana State 56-50 in that competition. Putting us here a 74-68 Valparaiso lead with 13.5 seconds left to go. The game clock was reset. It was down to 12.3 the last time I had mentioned it before. Leading in scoring for Valparaiso is still Olivia Brown, 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from the charity stripe, as she's dished in 3 threes in this game to bring it to 16 points. And leading for the opposite side for Evansville with 20 points, 8 of 18 from the field, is Abby Fight here in this game. And man, it's going to be a fight all the way to the end. 13.5 left to go. Officials signal to both benches to come back out onto the floor. Evansville will have the basketball, as will be here on the near sidelines at the 2-score game. 6-point lead for Valpo. Inbounding his Fight, gets it to Mason Stuyvesant, hands it back out to Fight for 3, just short, breaks out the front of the rim. Mason Stuyvesant rebounds with 8 seconds left to go. She offers up a shot, and that's no good, goes out of bounds with 5 seconds remaining. And it looks like Valpo has a chance. I'm not going to say anything yet because you never know what's going to happen. Evansville the inbound. Fight kicks it into Newman. 3 in the game clock. Kick to Fight. Misses the attempt as it gets blocked away. Mason Stuyvesant with the last second attempt. And Valpo takes the win. Beacons get 2 straight, 74-68 over Indiana State. And now to Evansville. Valpo on a 2-game winning streak. They'll improve to 6-19 on the season. 4-12 in Valley play. Evansville will fall to an 11-14 record on the season. They'll be 6-10 in the MVC. Wow, what a game. Valpo able to have a successful road trip as we're going to enter our LBJI postgame show. Every postgame show right here on WVUR is brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. LBJI is proud to be the official team physicians of Valparaiso University Athletics, as we're going to be joined over here shortly by head coach of the Beacons, Mary Evans, as she's heading over here just now after a big win, 74-68. Your final score here. As coach, it's going to be a little hard to hear. I apologize for that with the technical issue we're dealing with so far, but you get 2 games win straight here. Your last time you had 2 games won straight was against Indiana State and Evansville last season. How much does that mean to you and your team here to win this game this afternoon?
I think it means a tremendous amount to these players. They've continued to fight and work all year long, even though we've struggled to get the results that we've wanted, and they've stayed composed. And you know, we've kind of reevaluated some things over the last couple weeks, and what we want to try to do and who we want to be. And I think even though they scored 68 points on us, I think, you know, we fought defensively tonight. We fought rebounding the basketball. I mean, they're a very large team, and they ended up killing us on the offensive boards. But, I mean, I thought we did a tremendous job in the first half of those, and then, you know, I thought we continued to really focus on that in the second half. And then executed. I thought it was another game where we really shared the ball. I know at one point everyone who had played had scored a point. So I think, you know, that just shows that they're kind of understanding who we are as a basketball team and what we try to do. And, yeah, it looks like everybody, Ella came in there at the end to try to help us get some rebounds, but everybody else, you know, scored in this game, and they shared the basketball tremendously. And it's exciting. It's a fun weekend. I'd like them to make some more free throws so we don't have to have nail biters.
Now, one thing to mention, too, What did you tell your team after the third quarter media timeout, the second one, because they came out guns blazing, playing really great defense and really were making baskets. And in the earlier portion of the third quarter, it was tough for them to be able to make buckets. I believe you were like 2 of 6 from the field coming up to that point. What did you tell your team coming out of that?
We were just trying to attack good matchups. I thought we tried to force some things early in the third quarter against some of their better defenders, and I think we need to do a better job as collectively as a staff and as players recognizing when teams decide to switch. Like, this is a team that did not switch in the first matchup. They came out, they decided to switch basically everything today. And we've got some really talented players who can take advantage of those good matchups, whether it's maybe posting Newman up or it's driving their big kid. We've got to recognize those, and I thought we did a better job of recognizing them from the third quarter, about midway through the third quarter and on. And then I think the biggest difference was going to our zone there at the end. That's 2 years in a row we've been able to go to the zone, and that's kind of been able to quiet their dribble drive offense. And I thought that really was the big key as far as being able to get stops. But again, they have to go out, they have to buy in, and they've got to execute it. And I thought they did a great job doing that.
One other thing to mention here, Olivia Brown was 16 points, 5 of 7 from the field. Just talk about her performance in this competition as well.
I thought she played a really smart basketball game. I thought she drove it and she facilitated for other people. She had 2 assists, but I think she drove it when she saw help. She made the correct decision. Sometimes that led to an extra pass. So she got quite a few hockey assists, I think, in there as well. But I thought she did a better job of knowing when she can score at the rim and when she needs to get to 2 and find other players. And I think that led to her getting a lot more easy shots. And that was kind of what we challenged her with, is let's see how efficient we can become, because we're taking the best shots we can get, not just the ones that we can force and get. Let our teammates create for them. And I thought she got some easier looks today from teammates, and then I thought she did a great job really attacking her matchups when we got good matchups.
And one other final thing to mention here, you're going to be taking on Bradley in the next competition. Bradley, who has not won a Valley game yet.
Yeah.
They're struggling, a 19-game losing streak for the Braves. How do you anticipate on your team pumping them up to, say, hey, Bradley's still a competitive squad. How do you bring them up coming into that next game?
Yeah, I think right now for us, I think every game is an opportunity to just get better. And I think, we've grown so much, and I don't think getting this team up to play a game is going to be an issue, because we're scratching right now and clawing to become the best version of ourselves before we go to Moline. And we've talked about trying to become more defensive-minded and rebounding, because that's what it takes to compete when you get into the postseason. And we're going to continue to preach that method. I hope they'll continue to buy into it. It'll be a whole different beast at Bradley, playing against a matchup zone for most of the night. But I like where this group's at. I like that we're finding some depth at this point in the season, and that different people are stepping up each night and picking each other up. And that's fun to see as a coach, and that's what this program's all about.
Well, Coach, congratulations on your win here this afternoon. Go celebrate with your team. I won't hold you up any longer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Head coach of the Beacons, Mary Evans, always a pleasure to be able to talk with here on our LBJI postgame show, as we're going to head into a break and break down the stats of this competition this afternoon. We'll see you back here in 2 minutes. From Van Wagner, this is the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
Ticket Smarter is glad we are back to holding live events. If you are looking to buy tickets to the best sports, concerts, and theater events, all at the very best price, look no further than Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Buying tickets at TicketSmarter will help support children in need. For every ticket transaction on TicketSmarter, $1 will be donated to a children's charity. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticketing partner of bowl season. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets.
Preferred 4-1 over any other orthopedic practice in the region, Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute offers the specialized bone, joint, and muscle care needed to keep you in motion. Our world-class providers serve as the official team physicians for Valparaiso University, and we have proudly delivered specialized, experienced care throughout Northwest Indiana for more than 50 years. To learn more about Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute, visit lbji.com.
There are sports bars everywhere these days, but there's only one place for award-winning jumbo wings, bigger beers, and better food and drink values all week long. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. We're so much more than wings. Enjoy wraps, salads, subs, seafoods, quesadillas, amazing appetizers, and awesome daily lunch food and drink specials. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub at 501 North Silhavy in Valparaiso, and online at wingsetc.com.
The postseason starts here. The Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Championship takes the court at Vibrant Arena at the Mark, March 9th through 12th in Moline. Don't miss any of the action as 12 Missouri Valley teams battle for an automatic NCAA berth. Hoops in the Heartland, presented by Great Southern Bank and Grinnell Mutual Insurance. For tickets, call 219-464-5233. That's 219-464-5233. Or visit mbcquadcities.com.
Live on WVUR 95.1 and streaming at WVURTheSource.com, you're listening to the Valpo Sports Radio Network.
And welcome back here to our Lakeshore Bone and Joint postgame show. I'm Zach Collins. Let's break down the entirety of this competition after Valparaiso wins against Evansville 74-68 to put them onto a 2-game winning streak. Let's first break down the stats of the Purple Aces. Leading in scoring for Evansville was number 14, Abby Fight, with 14 points, went 8 of 19 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, and 2 of 3 from the perimeter. Actually getting a double-double here in this competition with 11 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Sitting right behind her, number 1, Anna Newman, with 14 points, 3 of 7 from the field, went perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line in 34 minutes of action. Anaya Griffin getting 13 points in this game, shooting 50% from the field, 3 of 8 from 3 here. And Barbara Toman-Silva with 12 points, 5 of 9 from the field, and went 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 4 players for Evansville scoring in double digits. In the last game for the Purple Aces, there were quite a few players who were definitely dominant in that performance. Excuse me, that was against UIC in the last game for the Purple Aces. Now looking in this game, few dominant players down the line, and definitely a team effort by the Purple Aces. And finishing things off and scoring with 7 is Mason Stuyvesant. She went 3 of 11 from the field and swiped away the only 2 steals for the Purple Aces of this competition, with Josie Hudson finishing things off and scoring with 2 points and went 1 of 1 from the field. For Valparaiso, Olivia Brown leading the thing in terms of scoring with 16 points, 5 of 7 from the field, and with 3 of 4 from 3. Was able to haul in 1 rebound and got 2 assists in 26 minutes of action. Leah Ernest with 14 points with 6 of 10 from the field, hauling in 5 rebounds, 3 short of her season average, and went 1 of 3 from the three-point line. With 2 players with 10 points in this competition, Allie Saunders, a player who's now coming out onto the floor with a lot of team support with her family here, as well as a lot of other individuals in Allie Saunders' life. Great to see her performance here in this competition, as she went 7 of 8 from the charity stripe. She's able to go 1 of 6 from the field with 10 points in the competition. Maya Dunson also with 10 points, 3 of 5 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Maya Dunson has been playing some excellent basketball here in the last 3 games of competition, so definitely look for her to make a even bigger impact in the next game against Bradley. Emma Teka with 9 points in the competition, went 4 of 7 from the field, hauled in 2 rebounds and swiped away 2 basketballs. With 7 points was Elise Pitts. She fouled out of the competition, but not before she went 3 of 6 from the field and got 8 rebounds here in this competition. And for Elise Pitts, that's one of the higher rebounding titles, as she ties her career high against Wisconsin for rebounds. Sitting right behind her with 3 points in the competition, as well as 2 players with 3 points, is Ava Interante and Olivia Sims. And Jada Johnson able to dish in 2, with Ella Van Welden getting some playing time but did not score here in this competition this afternoon. Really the big aspect, if you look at it all, was that Ella Van Welden, even Mary Evans mentioned it, she just came in to kind of get some rebounds later in the game, and at the same time really didn't rely on her much to score. The thing that Ella Van Welden does well is get those rebounds. She got 1 here in this competition today. And looking at Ella Van Welden and the rest of the team, every player who played in the first half scored in this competition. Looking to some of the overall stats of this competition, Evansville with 37 rebounds here today. Valparaiso with 24. 12 offensive rebounds for the Purple Aces. It was a lot of offensive rebounds, with 9 offensive rebounds in the second half alone for Evansville. 25 defensive rebounds, 22 for Valparaiso. Evansville 2 Valparaiso. 15 assists for the Purple Aces and 12 for the Beacons. 15 turnovers for Evansville and 13 for Valpo. looking down the line as well. 36 points in the paint for the Purple Aces and 26 for the Beacons. And finishing off this competition, your final score, 74-68. Let's take a look around the valley and some of the final scores as well, as this game finished off UIC winning over Indiana State 56-50. And in the third quarter, with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to go, Belmont up top Missouri State by 5. Looking further for both of these teams, Evansville is going to be taking on Missouri State in their next competition, February 23rd at 6 o'clock. Valparaiso is going to be taking on Bradley. I mentioned in the postgame interview to Mary Evans, Bradley on a 19-game losing streak. It's going to be a fight really in that competition. Valpo and Bradley were in single digits most of the last game between the two teams. So definitely a big one there, taking place February 23rd at 7 o'clock. That'll be streamed right here on WVOR 95.1 FM. It will not be a YouTube exclusive, but it will be a broadcast on WVOR 95.1 FM. Definitely a big competition, and continuing on their road trip, they're also going to be on Illinois State the following 2 days after on February 25th, and that will finish off the road trip for the Beacons of the season, as the final games will be against Murray State and Belmont at the Arc. So a lot still to happen here, lots of action in Valpo women's basketball, as we would like to thank you for joining us here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network, and hope that you tune into the Valpo Sports Radio Network on Wednesday, February 22nd, as the men's basketball team will take on Bradley themselves, as Todd Eichow and James Dorr will have that call for you at 6 p.m. with a pregame show starting at 5:45 p.m. The women's game will be the following night on Thursday, February 23rd, as I mentioned before, as myself, Zach Collins, will have the 7 p.m. game start with a pregame show at 6:35 p.m. We'd like to give a quick shout-out to our sponsors who made our broadcast possible, including Calumet Brewing, Gastonia Tractor, Wings Etc., Lakeshore Bone and Joint, Northwest Health, First Source Bank, Hungry Howie's, Culver's, IBEW, Royal Excursion, and Ticket Smarter. This Valparaiso women's basketball broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment. The general manager of Van Wagner Sports and Entertainment for Valparaiso Athletics is Blair Minton. This broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Valparaiso women's basketball right here on WVOR The Source 95's YouTube page. And any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express or written consent of WVOR is prohibited. The general manager of WVOR is Zach Collins. The sports director for WVOR is Noah Godsell. And the assistant sports director for WVOR is Soren Burkholder. Once again, your final score here from the Meeks Family Fieldhouse. Valparaiso wins big, 74-68 over Evansville. I'm Zach Collins. Thank you for listening to another presentation of Valparaiso Beacons basketball right here on the Valpo Sports Radio Network's YouTube page. Enjoy what is left of your Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you back here on WVR Wednesday as we say so long from the city of stoplights.
That was another presentation of Valparaiso Beacon Athletics on WVUR The Source 95, the Valpo Sports Radio Network. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of WVUR The Source 95 is prohibited. We thank you for listening to today's contest as we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming on WVUR The Source 95 Valparaiso, the official home of Beacon Athletics.